I visualize a lot, protagonistic thoughts, antagonistic boss. I try to win, I try to see the plot. My brain, that's why we take drugs to escape. I feel the rain.
I've been selling my soul, working all day. My brain, that's why we take drugs to escape. I feel the rain, it burns like pain. Alone again, where are my friends? I need to change things in my brain. That's why we take drugs to escape. The weather speaks to me, a different frequency. Gave you a piece of me, but you left so easily. I thought you needed me, you kept deceiving me. Think you mistreated me, what did you ever see in me? I'm in a better place, I'm in a sweater space. The moles a warm embrace, taking me to better days. I work to make a change, I work through all the pain. Distractions keep me sane, I may never be the same. Let me feel for a minute, wait, I don't like that, quit it. I'm a real big cynic, I don't really trust too much, I limit. But when I do, I'm committed, and when I do, man, I'm in it. I'm by your side till we winning, ride or die, I'ma always stay with it. Got my mind tangled in knots, trying to hide from the painful thoughts. Crouching behind all the memories lost, the happy ones bring it off in spots. I visualize a lot, protagonistic thoughts, antagonistic boss. I try to win, I try to see the plot. I feel the rain, it burns like pain. Alone again, where are my friends? I need to change things in my brain. That's why we take drugs to escape. But that don't change a fucking thing. I need.
Yo, can you all hear me? Testing. Trying to work out. Can you hear me, guys? Let me know. How the hell? Northwood Press. Mellows. Yeah, you can hear me, yeah? Dubwubs, what's going on, man? What's going on? So, sorry about the live. It's a bit of a late one. But, basically, I just wanted to say I'm really filling in for Grim. And Grim's got his holiday coming up. And also, Grim's got a couple of things going on personally at the moment. So I thought, you know what? Grim does a lot for shouting out other channels and, and pushing other people's channels on this network. So I thought, you know what? Let's go live and cover a show for him. That way, he doesn't feel like he's let any of the viewers down, etc. These nuts not caught you in a minute either, man. Big up yourself. Steve, big up yourself. The Book of His Amazing Grace. Good to see you, man. I don't think I've seen you around in a while, right? Good to see you. Nice. So anyway, I'm going to start with bringing on the guests today. This evening we've got Fruitoy. I think Fruitoy's ready. We'll check. Sup, Fruitoy?
How's it going, Bert?
Going on? And we've also got Eyes on the Audit, aka otherwise known as Mellows or Dr. Doom, depending on, what you heard in the depends what you heard in the YouTube streets. You know what I mean?
Hello everyone in the chat. Thank you for having me. Even though
he's doing a little bit of work, but when he's done, he said he's going to try to come up.
Right, no worries. Well,
Brilliant.
Like I say, it was a bit of like a last minute thing. Like, all right, let's do a live for Grim, but what are we going to do? I know some of the Americans in here may have already seen it, but we're going to do a review, or we're going to play a video.
It's going to be a re-review.
It's going to get a bit of a re-review for those that haven't seen it over here. It is a video from across the pond by a new, what looks like to me, auditor called Siberian Tiger. And they dropped a video, and I think it's really good. Completely owns the police. There's a few things in here, shows how stupid the police are. Yeah, I just think it's great. So I thought, yeah, you know what? We can share this with you. If anyone else wants to come up on the panel, to again sit here and kind of review it, go over it, thoughts on the video, then I'm going to put the link out for those that want to join.
Hello, Kayak and Dub. How's it going?
Be nice to get a few Americans over here. Like I say, this is more for covering him for Grim Man and showing Grim some support. Like I say, he shows all of us support, right? So
I don't like the way he wrote his name, Grim Reaper, on the bottom of my car. How am I going to get that out?
No, wrong one. We not got.
Good to see These Nuts, and also the guy named These Nuts in chat.
These nuts, these nuts. That was a little bit better. Yeah, feel free to come up. Mellows, have you got a link for it?
For the Siberian Tiger?
For the video, and then what I'll do is I'll put it in.
Right, so yeah, I did have it, but I thought you had it ready. That's why I haven't got it ready.
What, you thought I was organised?
When do you plan to put it on?
Plan to put what on?
It'll be here sometimes next week.
Yeah, sometime next week, mate. What we're going to do is I'm going to
reschedule the live. See you guys next week. Sorry for wasting your time, guys.
Give a chance for people to,
Yeah, no, give a chance for people to come on and everything else, but I want to keep it kind of auditing. True Toy, you watch Auditing, man. Is there anything new you've seen? Any new videos? Anything going on with any auditors, whether it be UK, US?
I will like to say what we should do, since we're doing this this live on Eyes on the Audit, and we haven't done one over there for a while. We can't end tonight's live stream without dropping a few acorns.
I mean, that's another one. I mean, that one hasn't even probably been watched by most over here, you know. But this, go on.
I'm manufacturing acorn-proof jackets. They'll be on sale in a couple of months, guys.
Get your assault acorns at www.acornsrus.com.
Yeah.
They're like kryptonite to police. They have full meltdown when they see an acorn drop next to them. They duck and roll and do Starsky and Hutch maneuvers and start. I mean, can you imagine?
To any of the moderators as well, if we get any trolls coming in just with their stupid comments or not really contributing towards the live, just time them out, people. Just time them out.
All right, so here we go. Sorry for the delay, guys. I'll drop this link for you to play.
Maui girl, we're fucking woo girl. Good to see you.
You sharing it, or do you want me to share it or something? Let me drop the link in the private chat, and then you can do what you want with it. That's the link to the video.
Most probably Rights Crispy hasn't seen it. And
we need him to see this. He's going to appreciate this.
That's what I'm saying, but he has a little bit of work to finish up. I think I'm not sure.
Well, how long is he going to be? We could kind of.
I don't know exactly.
Play the acorns. If anybody does anybody know about the acorns? If you don't know about acorns, press 1.
See, that's why I was saying, when are you going to play it? Like,
for sure, if you don't know about the acorns, man.
Right, so we could spend some time talking about acorns and showing acorns dropping out of the sky and terrifying little scaredy police officers, and until Rights Crispy is free. I think we could do that. That's all right with you?
I'm not 100% sure he'll come, but I think he might be able to finish in time.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
worries. But if he comes across, he comes across. If
He
not,
comes, he
no worries.
comes. All right. So here I'm going to drop the other link for.
All right, but don't get nervous. So there was a massive fall in Blackburns today.
So
Yeah, I can kind of get.
have you got a good video without any interruptions of that acorn? Because I know loads of people have covered it, but I didn't really want to. I just wanted just the video bit, body cam. You got any good links for us? If not, I'll just throw what we got on.
Throw it up, man. Yeah, it's on Donut's Raw Police videos.
You got it?
No, that's what Dubwobs is saying. Look on there. Look on Donut Raw's police videos, man. Be on there. Yes, Anarchy Television, man. Big up yourself, bro. Good to see you.
Donut
Hello,
Media.
Anarchy. Hello, man, girl.
Yes, good to see you, DJ Lyrical.
Northwoods in the house.
Northwood, big up yourself, man. Tony Whitworth, big up yourself also. Have you found it? Have you found it?
Donut Raw. Is this? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Which one have you put in the background?
That one's the Siberian tiger. Here we go. Shots fired. Got it.
Right, you share your screen, bro, and I'll bring it on.
Oh, you want me to share it? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, please. I'm on my phone, so.
Okay. All right. So.
Here, Mellows, do you want to answer this question first? I'll let you answer it. Question for panel. Why do you think it's acceptable to audit the police even when they are the most attacked public service? That's definitely a copper, isn't it? That's definitely a Fed, man.
It's definitely a fucking sucking that boot like a lollipop. Why do we feel the need? Does this guy know? Has he ever heard of the name Wayne Couzens?
I know, right? And the rest, and his friends, and all his friends.
And all his friends. Yeah, I've got a whole list of them here. I could just read them off. But that's not the show. We could do that in another show. But yeah, if we don't check on them, who the fuck is? There's a question for you.
That's right. Can I go ahead with it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. So, there's a whole lot, and generally this is an auditing community, so I'll be preaching to the choir. But just for yourself, let's start at the beginning. One, we have to pay for the police. We don't get a choice, right? Right. We have to pay for them, whether we like it or not. That's number one. So number two, a lot of the times they police with ego, right? They police with their ego. They make unlawful arrests. They're up to all sorts of wrongdoing, right? And that's why we have to audit them. That's why they need to see that there's people watching them, so they do their jobs. We're not against good police. We're against the bad ones, right? Some people will say there is no good police, but there's different array of bad police, right? There's one who will just back up his buddy no matter what, up to people who are police who have been charged with every crime you can think of, right? Every crime. And what happens to a lot of police is they get told yes, and they're dealing with people who don't know their rights so much that they get up in themselves and they feel what they say goes. And when somebody challenges them on that, their ego kicks in and they start acting wrong and doing not what we paid them for, but still taking our money, right? So I can see why some people who haven't experienced the bad side of police can sort of turn a blind eye or not notice it as much. But it will eventually happen to you because it's gone crazy out of control. Before there was cameras, it was just people's word against the police, and the police were always going to be believed over the person.
So Dub Wub says civilians are the most attacked by police. Look that stat up.
Yeah,
Here, fucking here, Dubs, man. Here, Dubs, man.
but
Word.
but but the police who support our rights, stand up for our rights, and
Hey, big up, Dave.
do their job professionally.
Good to see you.
We like these police. We have no problem with them whatsoever. Right?
Stop picking on the police. They do a wonderful job. They look after us. They protect us. We give them weapons. They shoot at acorns. Leave them alone.
Look at Long Island audits. A policeman said if he was caught on I think it was his body cam or something was on, and he said to another guy, if this was 20 years ago, Long Island would be found dead with his teeth missing.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Right. So is this who you want to pay for to police our streets? That sort of people?
Big up, bro. Good to see you, man. What's that? Police deleted my video of me being assaulted by a member of staff at Halfords. Corrupt police. Bastards, aren't they?
Facts.
I think there's a chance to recover deleted footage from a camera or from a phone. You should look into that, because you have a really good case if it can be retrieved. Just Google it.
You want me to play this video?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Just gonna have these few moments. UK transparency. If you want to come up, mate, the links in the chat. I don't know if you've seen the videos. Might be handy if you haven't.
Just Google it, mate. Google retrieving deleted footage from whatever device you have. Just Google that or even YouTube it. But I'm sure if they don't give you software, there's companies that can do it.
Mr. Tips, evening, man. Evening, good to see you. I'll bring up XPC Wayne Cousins all you want. I'll prove a point by bringing up Coley Burks. You aren't all squeaky clean.
No, we aren't all squeaky clean, that's for sure. But
we're not getting paid by the public's tax. We're not forcing everybody to pay us.
Exactly.
What the fuck is even that kind? That's not even a comparison. Idiot.
Yeah, Coley Burks, he was auditing. He did a good job auditing, but then he done some stupid illegal stuff, which he shouldn't have. It's obvious.
Fucking difference is he weren't a fucking police constable doing stupid shit,
And also,
how many police constables?
No, hang on, but they have got a fair point. They have got a fair point. So let's not. No. I think it's right to accept what's being said, the opinion of what's being said there, and I would say I agree with that to the point where, like, listen. When we say that you can have a really good copper, right, that could have had an amazing service in the police, done loads of amazing things, and then near the end of their career, they go on to do one bad thing, right? And unfortunately, that one bad thing that they do tarnishes everything that they done before that was good. Right.
And not just tarnishes what they've done; it tarnishes all the other gov officers that their colleagues.
So this is my point. So yes, you're right that really people that want to go out and film the police and stuff probably shouldn't be out selling drugs. Because anything good you've done before, and he's probably highlighted, in my opinion, means nothing now.
Yeah,
and again, it tarnishes every other auditor with the same brush. So it's the same thing. So I agree. They're not squeaky clean.
No, they're not. Not everybody's squeaky clean, but they're not connected. His crime wasn't connected to
convicted for stupid things like downloading child images and grooming children and raping women and
every crime you can think
every fucking day, man. Let me do a screen. Actually, I can do a screen share of the misconduct report, the calendars for the misconduct reports coming up for the next month, the next 2 months, the next 6 months. Did you know that every fucking day is fully booked with bent, corrupt officers getting fucking pulled into public hearings for one bullshit or another? Every fucking day, right? And you're going to tell me, give me one reason. I'll give you 10,000 fucking reasons, and that's just within the next 20 seconds.
Yeah, and another point I want to bring up is if every cop acted professionally, right, and did things right by the book, there wouldn't be an auditing community. There would be nothing to audit. Nobody would watch it. It would be no
You
point.
know what the funny thing is? The haters and that, they can hate on auditing and stuff, right? But listen, I've had some open conversations with coppers, man, with coppers, sergeants, and they don't all actually fuck. In fact, I've spoke to one sergeant, PK Audits, if he's still in this chat, he'll remember. AJ Audits will know what I'm on about, and so will Crazy Jake UK know what I'm on about, because they were all there in Birmingham. And I've had a few interactions with this sergeant now. He likes standing round talking to, not that I say standing round, but he likes engaging with auditors. He likes opening fucking...
He wants to be a star.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. This is what I'm saying, he doesn't. But he's all up for having conversations, mate, and the way he so I don't think all coppers are bad.
I
might think all coppers stand for they all back each other, so I don't agree with that, and I believe there's ones that turn a blind eye. But I don't believe as individuals, every individual copper's a bad person or a bad copper, because I'd be sat here lying if I said that. I don't think they're all bad.
Yeah, but somebody brought up a good point the other day on Eli's, where there was a good cop and he wanted to whistleblow on them, and they rough-housed them and put him in a headlock and done a suplex or whatever that wrestling move is called, where they get him in a headlock and they fall down to the ground. So they broke his neck and he died in prison, or he died in hospital. So even the ones who will report on the bad ones are in danger. Are in danger of their life, And these are the people we pay to protect us. The people we pay to abide, to hold up the law.
So here's a question for this guy, right? Who do we now depend on, rely on, right, to protect us from the people that we pay to protect us?
I think we have to. We don't. We just leave them alone. Apparently.
Yeah, we just let them violate us, rape us, murder us, torture us, groom our children, rape our children. We just allow that to happen, right? We could just, because there's nothing we can do, right? It's just the way it is. Just let them do this sick shit and just, run people over, smash into people's houses, shoot people's dogs for no reasons, break into people's houses without a warrant. Because this is what they do.
Mellows, it may be a US story, but can we get it up? Because this guy's frustrating me. I'm trying to bring him into conversation, but they're frustrating me. Right? They say that's not true. The good police have whistleblowed on bad police for years. Hang on a minute. You go and look. Hang on. You go look. Yeah, you go look at most people that have whistleblowed, who have been ex-police and whistleblowed, and look at the fucking trouble they've had doing so.
Okay, so
exactly.
Look at the amount of shit they've come under for doing so. So that's bullshit, man. And can you find that story?
Do you remember that girl that we were talking about one time? We were looking into, Maggie Oliver. Remember the one I sent you the link about? Maggie Oliver. She wrote the book. She left the force to become a pedo hunter full time.
No.
Yeah, man. She wrote a book.
Sorry, I've got her book, Maggie Oliver.
Yeah,
I've got her book, man. Sorry, my bad.
Mark, real news in the house.
Well,
how you doing, bro?
Hey, but this guy, I mean, what is it, Fiery Deer? Yeah, I mean, thanks for voicing your opinion, because I truly believe that communication is the answer to most of the world's problems, and we need to talk things out. So maybe I don't.
For sure, that's what I mean. We're not all going to have the same views, man. That's the whole point of fucking learning from one another, man.
Yeah, that's right. We talk it out. Maybe you want to invite him up. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if he would even come up. But dialogue is really important. Both sides of the story.
Have we got that? Have you got Can you play that video we were watching yesterday, Mellows, about the copper that's been murdered?
I haven't got the link for that. Dubwebs, if he's in the chat, he might better help us out with that.
Dubwebs, you in the chat, bro? I'll mod you up, man, if you got a link for that.
It's
Do,
worth
do,
if
the
Tommy
only,
V's here, we're
That's
sorted.
what we need. We need an American modded over here, man,
we
to be
need
able
Tommy
to
V
feed
on
us
it.
their information.
Yeah. He was. I think Eli played it on the People's Podcast.
Yeah, Eli played it yesterday, Dubwebs, man. It was a video regarding a copper that's been murdered, and his family and that believe that he's been murdered by his ex-colleagues because he basically not whistleblow. I think he was ready to whistleblow, or he was witness to something that he wanted to like fucking come out public about, and next minute he got murdered.
Mhm.
Just murdered.
And you know how many times that happens, and with the media's help, right?
Big up,
It's
Wingnut.
buried
What's up?
and long lost, forgotten.
hey, Wingnut,
Wingnut, how you doing, bro?
Good to see you, bro.
How y'all
he
mean?
suicided himself by suplexing himself.
And
Yeah.
bottom line,
But listen, like I was saying, what's that? A sheriff punched a handcuffed man. Should we watch that video, Mellows? Do you want to play the video? We'll just play it, man. There's a few of us here now. Even if these guys have watched it, we'll play the Siberian Tigers one.
Ah, that one. No, now we're talking. Will, have you seen that? I think he has.
which one?
There's been plenty of times where cops have, manhandled people that were in handcuffs in the jail and stuff like that.
Matter of
I
fact,
think you're getting a little bit of feedback, Anarchy TV.
I'm charging my phone at the same time. I'm sorry.
No,
It's all right, man. It's not too bad.
I can't stay long because my phone is not charging like it should. So I'm sorry. I'll mute while I'm not talking.
matter of fact, about 10 or 15 years ago, I'm really bad with remembering times about certain things, but anybody could look it up. It's Rhode Island officer had a woman on the sidewalk, handcuffed behind her back, and kicked her in the face.
Yeah,
All the
that's
time.
crazy.
All the time. On video.
Remember that woman that was just minding her own business, walking through parking like a car park basically, and the police obviously got her involved. They arrested her, handcuffed her. When they took her into hospital, they punched her in the face because she was, she was mouthy at him. Do you know what I mean? I think she spat at him or something. Yeah, and he punched her right in the face while she was handcuffed. Yeah,
Don't play the video. Have you got this video?
this is the Siberian Tiger, yeah?
Yeah.
You ready to watch it? Should we...
Yeah, roll it, man. If a moderator could put Siberian Tigers link in.
I'll tell you what's following me. Get back in your vehicle. Take your pressure way down. Way down.
What's going on?
You've got it on like double speed for a start. Will's dropped off. I don't know what's happened to Will. He'll be back. Well, it's funny, man, because I was watching this video thinking the auditor guy seems like the cop, and then the cop seems like the member of the public being told off by the cop. You know what I mean? His head on the floor like a naughty boy and that. Like, I'm sorry.
When I first watched
I
this,
didn't mean
I actually
to.
thought that's exactly what I thought when I first watched it. I thought the Matthew Git is the copper, and then I thought, no, hang on, what's going on here?
I actually thought maybe it was like, one of those setup videos as well, just like a bit of a fucking yeah.
Right, I've got it up on my screen. Can you bring my screen up?
Yeah.
All right, get your popcorn, guys. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
Can we make it? Can we make it larger screen or what?
I've got it large screen.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Cool.
Am I sharing the right screen?
You're sharing the right. I think so. Yeah. Just go. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
All right. So press play. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this before, you're about to watch something very satisfying.
As I say, if a moderator could put Siberian Tiger's link in the chat and everyone give him a sub, it'd be much appreciated as well. Everyone let him know that we sent him over. Sent him over.
Send him some love. Send him some love. He needs it.
This is a citizen.
He needs all the help he can get.
Exactly. But I will answer you afterwards, Fiery Deer. But I would like to say I think you're talking shit. For every victim, I can bring up about 10 cops that were killed in a line of duty. All right, mate.
Yeah,
I
challenge you.
Way more victims.
I challenge you. I'll challenge you.
Way more victims.
And now, I also like to welcome Rights Crispy to the channel.
Hey, what's up, yo?
How's it going, right, brother? How's it going, mate?
Good, man.
So we're just about to show this
Hello,
video.
Rights.
Have you seen it from what's his name?
How you doing?
Perfect timing, bro. I don't know if you've seen this video yet, but you're about to watch a cracker.
Siberian Tiger, right? Have you seen this? This is a citizen who knows he is the boss.
Yeah, he tells him off.
Yeah. It's the most satisfying video I've seen all year.
So we're kind of doing a review on it.
I think
yes. All right, so I'm pressing play. Should I press play? Should we go?
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you hear the audio?
Yes.
Take your aggression way down. Get back in your vehicle. What's going on? I'll tell you. Why are you following me? Get back in your vehicle. And take your aggression way down. Way down. Dude, I don't know who's following me. I am. Okay. What's going on? Identify yourself. I'm Deputy Weed with the Clark County Sheriff's Office. Why are you following me? What are you talking about following you? Oh, really? Twice. You made an illegal U-turn following me. I made a turn. Okay. You made a turn? Yeah. Now, can I show you what I was on? I don't care what you were on. I observed you following me twice. You did an illegal U-turn. And when you noticed me, you started running from me. What are you talking about? Okay. Take a nap. Would you like to speak to my supervisor? Did I ask for it? No. No. I'm talking to you. So next time, when you break the law, you better watch yourself. I'm going to be watching you. See door there, Sheriff? Yeah. See public? Yeah. You work for me. Obey the law. You break the law, you're going to deal with the citizen. Me. Did I make myself clear? Did I make myself clear? Can you log and play Washington Boy Edward Victor 1361?
Okay, he took his license plate to try to intimidate him.
Shut the hell up. It's exactly how this is going to go. You got to with that. You better call somebody here way above your rank.
When they got nothing to say, they'll go to their little walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I'm free to go. What am I being detained for? Dude, what am I being detained for? You're coming. What am I being detained for? Articulate the crime. You're free to go. Oh, so I'm not free to go? You are free to go. Then I'm free to stay. Piss off. Get back in your car. Piss off.
You don't hear Americans say "piss off" too much.
Piss off.
He's Russian.
Dude, piss
Oh,
off.
Russian.
I'm not now, you got a direct order from a citizen to piss off.
I like that.
I don't give a damn. You don't like it? Piss off. I made a turn because I'm piss off. We're done here. If I'm not detained, piss off. I'm not going anywhere. Then
Yeah,
I'm
my
not going
ego
anywhere.
won't let me.
Well, then exactly because I'm not detained because I'm free. Because I'm free. Exactly. You were the one who was following me. Then you don't want to be followed? You don't want to be followed? It's very odd. Do you want to be followed? Yes or no? It's very odd when people are following me. When you break the law, and I
Can we just pause there a quick minute?
Yeah.
Like, listen, right? I don't know, but this is another problem with like cops of today. Like, this is just like you getting a little bit of a verbal, right? And he kind of looks like he's quite scared, quite intimidated. Like, what if this was like some criminal that really wanted to hurt him? You know? Like,
No. Don't think he's scared, like running scared. He's dangerous scared now.
Yeah.
He's thinking of whether he should pull his gun and smoke this guy or not.
yeah.
Exactly.
There's a big difference between running scared and dangerous scared, and that's what we have here. And I've quoted the movie Easy Rider a bunch of times, where they say, people talk about individual freedom all the time, but once they see a free individual, they get scared, and they don't get running scared. They get dangerous scared.
Yeah.
They want to put that guy out of their sight, cage him, kill him, whatever.
Yeah, and that's why in some states, I'm not sure some states, but one state anyway, they've banned bulletproof vests. You can't have bulletproof vests because if they want to shoot you, they want you to be shot.
Yeah.
Acorn proof.
Acorn proof.
Yeah, if you commit any crime, even if it's a simple misdemeanor, while wearing a vest, it gets upgraded to a felony.
Wow. Well, that's probably going back to those two guys who robbed the bank in full bulletproof suit, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
they were shooting them and they were shooting them. Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it?
That was amazing.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's not a movie yet.
Okay, shall I play?
Yeah, man.
You're on the call? Go! 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 If you're on the call, go! Obviously, it's not an emergency. Obviously. Right? Because if it would be, you'd be leaving. But no, you're here harassing me.
This takes precedent. I don't even know what you're talking about me following you. I was not following you.
Yeah, well, I followed you because you were breaking the law. And then when you saw me, okay, when you made an illegal U-turn, you were going left, and I was going left.
Where was this?
Over there. 99th Street. You were making a left turn exactly on the street that you were going to. Then you made an illegal U-turn and you followed me.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So what call are you on right now?
I'm on a reckless call, a endangerment call.
Yeah.
For somebody that was going up Highway 99.
So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you still doing here if there's nothing going on? What are you still doing here?
What the fuck are you doing?
Dude, I'm not explaining it to you.
My ego won't let me go. You bruised my ego, sir. That's why I'm here.
I took myself off the call because somebody was following me.
I was following you when you were breaking the law, making illegal U-turns.
I flipped a U-turn to go to a call.
And then you did another U-turn to go the other direction.
From the call.
Yeah. With no lights on, right? And now when I confronted you, you wanted to make this about something, about being in detainment. What's the detainment for?
Dude, I said...
Yeah, you said I'm being detained.
Why are you following me?
Why am I being... And then you said I'm not being detained. So what's the deal?
If you want to go.
Then you need to go.
Dude, that's not how it works, man.
Are we waiting for you, Sergeant?
Yeah, they're coming.
Okay.
Speaking of which, if you want to see the definition of gaslighting, he's about to arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I have one in my car.
I would like it, please.
Yeah, you'll get one.
Get one right now.
Nope.
Go get one right now.
No, it's not the way this works.
Well, this is how it's going to work. I guarantee you that's how it's going to work. You can get your lieutenant, you can get your internal affairs, you can get whoever you like. I confronted you because I witnessed my servant break the law multiple times, driving carelessly, and now you got an issue with that.
I made 2 U-turns.
Illegally.
Okay.
Illegally. And then you failed to turn, and then you failed to show signal when you went into this neighborhood. That's another violation.
This guy is owned, man.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Thoroughly shamed.
Yep.
But that was 2 intimidation tactics, to take his number plate and to tell him he's detained. He was hoping he would
at
just...
least 3 or 4
You're my
failed
public
attempts.
servant and I'm auditing you. That's how it works.
So is this something that you normally do?
You hear that, fiery deer in the chat?
Doing their job
We're
and not wasting my
They're
money.
public servant, we order them. That's how it works, bro.
You're normally supposed to follow the
I
law.
hope he's paying attention
Right?
and taking notes, this fiery guy.
Right?
I know. Fiery deer, this video is like for you, man.
Follow the law,
Dedicate
right?
this video to you.
Exactly. So if you were on call and you were clear to do something that you're authorized, you're supposed to have your lights on to let me know that you're doing something that you're authorized to do.
Sir, I'm not going to sit here and argue the debate with you that I didn't make a turn.
Get back to work.
Without turning my lights on. I didn't.
Right?
What the fuck are you doing?
You've been sitting
Okay,
there.
I committed a civil infraction.
There you go. You broke the law.
And he
And
admits
I
it.
confronted you.
Yep.
Is that what I did?
Yeah, you were following me.
Exactly. I followed you to audit you and confront you about your unlawful behavior. Okay. You got a
Hey,
problem
shout out
with that?
to Brandon Mitchell.
No,
I see he's a
With the
supporter on this channel too. What's up, man?
Okay.
Yeah, Brandon Mitchell's the guy, man.
Yeah,
What are you
random
doing?
is a legend.
No, we're waiting for a supervisor. He's gonna come.
Why?
Because he's gonna talk to you
About what?
about my behavior, apparently.
I didn't ask for him.
No, you were yelling at me for me to go.
No, I was raising my voice and speaking freely as I'm allowed to do.
You're absolutely right. You're
Right? It's freedom of speech.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I hope everybody goes out there and exercises it.
That's exactly what I did. You got an issue with that? Do you have an
This is
issue
you,
with
man.
that?
Fiery. So why doesn't the Crown pay for them then?
But Mellows, just pause that quickly.
With me exercising my First Amendment?
I just want to say to Fiery, regardless of whether the police serve the Crown or not, who does the Crown serve? Who does the Crown swear their oath to?
Did you even
Come back to
listen?
me. No. I'll give them till the rest of the video and see if they can work it out, because they're clearly a bit slow. But come back to me with an answer on that one. You know,
Yeah,
who does the Crown swear their oath to?
Maybe we should explain that
Well,
to
what's
the
the answer to
American.
that? 'Cause I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, you see, they're not public servants in United
They are
Kingdom.
public servants. They're
But
crown
what-
servants.
They're
And
crown servants. So they're servants
are more
of
than
the,
just public servants, right?
they're
They are ordained by the king of this country, right, and sworn to protect the rights and privileges and freedoms of this United. They've sworn oath to protect our rights, right?
right. So
And
police
the
property is crown property. Is property of the crown, right?
which is owned by
royal
the public. Yeah. Which is owned by the public. All crown properties owned by the public.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not really an authority.
The king is nothing more. Let me
Ceremonial.
boil it down, right? The king is nothing more than a caretaker. His sworn duty is to protect the property and the rights of the citizens of the United Kingdom, and it's
We got Mr. In Between News. Good to
he's
see you,
literally
man.
nothing more than just a caretaker.
Aren't
Right.
there like post Magna Carta type things that like
Yeah,
they still
and
have
Magna
rule
Carta,
over you?
right.
He can enact a state of emergency and make everybody,
He
dead.
can. He can declare war. If any member of Parliament wants to, if Parliament wants to go to war, they have to seek his approval. Any laws that get brought into
That's right.
into legislation have to seek royal assent, his approval. So,
Still to this day, that's crazy.
he's
I'm
the
sorry.
leader
I'm sorry to
of-
keep putting in, guys, but just while it's in my head, Mr. In Between News. I don't know if people are aware of Mr. In Between News. But he's got a relatively new channel, and he's kind of breaking down auditing, going over reviewing the behavior of police, highlighting some of the most heinous crimes that our police force here in the UK are guilty of. Mr. In Between, if you want to come up and have
I like
chat.
his last video. Actually, it was really good.
Oh, I'm not subscribed. Can somebody drop his link so I can
Yeah,
just
can
give him?
someone drop his link, please? He's doing really well, really well. He's not only had his channel maybe 2-3 weeks, and he's doing really well. People are liking his videos. I like watching his videos.
You know what?
If
with
I'm
his
right,
permission-
and I don't want to speak for him, I'd rather him come up, but he's just somebody that's watched auditing and picked up on a lot of the behavior and of the police, basically, in the way they conduct themselves. And he's now felt that he's at a point where he now wants to highlight it in a little bit more depth, I think, than just going out with a camera. He's been putting these videos together, and like I say, they're quite good. The way he articulates himself on them, they're very good. So pick up yourself, mate.
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, if it's all right with him, obviously, if we've still got time, I'll play one of his videos that he did. I liked. It was pretty good. Remember the one I was telling you about the other day?
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, this is what this is about. Just anyone who's got anything they want to promote.
That is, that video is for Mr. Fiery over there, Mr. Blue Line Sucker over there.
Thanks, UK Transparency. Appreciate it, mate.
Do you want to just quickly spit? Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but you know me. I see stuff in the chat, and if I don't say it there and then, I'll forget. So
Same here. I just subbed to Mr. In Between News.
yeah, it's an interesting
too.
channel. Be interesting to see what he does going forward. So yeah, fair play to him. Do you
Okay.
want to hit the? Yeah, go on, mate. I'll mute up.
Oh, not at all, man. That's why I'm out here.
Okay, that's why you're out here.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, let me ask you one more time. Why was I being detained?
You actually remember you. I remember you.
You remember me?
Yeah.
From where?
A couple of years ago.
From a couple of years ago?
Yeah. We were chasing up 50th Ave. We were chasing a stolen car. This is like 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't use my blinker. And you did the exact same thing.
No. If that was you.
He just admitted to doing it again to multiple times breaking the law.
And this guy says, and you still haven't learned.
Yeah.
You roll on the window and you're like, follow the law, sir, follow the law. I remember that.
That's right. So that was you
I
again.
was on a call again for
Unbelievable.
You haven't learned.
Unbelievable.
So
You haven't learned.
how to follow the law. You see what I mean?
I see what you're
You
No
haven't learned.
consequences. Why should he learn?
If that was you, you ran, okay, with just briefly your lights on across 50th and 99th Street. If that was in fact you, okay, endangering me and the other person whom you nearly collided with.
I didn't really climb it.
Yeah? No, I said nearly collided with. And then I know this guy. I know this car.
You got
I know the car. I don't know the guy, but I know the car. What's up?
He's following me. He said I made 2 illegal U-turns.
Which you admitted
and
to.
they came up on me. And so I got out, and he immediately got out and he started yelling at me. And so
Confronting
I
you.
told him he was free to leave.
No, you said first of all it was detained.
You have a charge on him.
Then you couldn't articulate nothing.
So he's not detained.
No.
Okay, get in your car and go.
Yeah, exactly. I told him to do the same
you're
thing.
dismissed.
Why am I doing this?
There we go.
Okay.
Part 2.
Why are you a sheriff?
I asked you a question. Are you going to answer it?
No.
Okay, see you later.
Take care.
It's like one
break
of
the
those
law again.
WWE.
Look, he's going back in.
Bye-bye. I'm not free to go. Okay?
Come back.
I'm free to go, right?
Yep.
Okay?
Free to go.
Get lost.
Free to be here as well.
Good.
Love that. Love that.
I don't want to talk to you. Get lost.
No, I'm right here.
He said I could be here as well. Not on the
always
fucking
do you.
public dime, you can't.
I feel more comfortable when you go.
I know it sounds prejudiced, but I can already tell just by looking at his face that he's going to be a tyrant. And I could do that with most cops now. I could just look at their face and see, is there like guilt of violating rights behind those eyes? Bags under there because they can't sleep. You know, it's gotten to, you know.
You're able to read them, right? Read their facial expressions. Yeah, nice one.
Beat lie detectors all the hell.
Just imagine this guy. He's a sergeant, right? He's probably earning over 100K, right? Over there, they pay him stupid money, man. We don't get that over here in the UK. You know, I think over here it's like 60, 70K English money. So it's probably about 100 or close to 100K.
No, about 80, I'd say.
80, yeah. It's not that much. We can have the pound ain't that strong no more, mate.
You're talking about cops' pay?
Yeah, I mean, the sergeant over there, what's he on? He's over 100. I've seen some of the salary, the reports, the FRI.
Oh, it depends on the city. If it's a big city like LA, they could get $500,000 a year, man.
Right.
Big up, Gregory.
You know, here, you know, they'll probably get like.
So say somewhere like New
60,
York.
70, something like that. But that's not all they get, is that they don't just get that pay, right? They also get free dry cleaning. They get free cell phones. They
Free
get free
McDonald's,
meals
free
at any
Dinky
barbecue
Donuts.
place.
Damn.
You know,
Free coffee, free Dinky Donuts.
and they've learned how to grift and work the system. Like, do you know that friend of yours who's always like telling you about, oh, but this government program, you could get this for free and blah, blah, blah. And there are people who just know how to work the system like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of those people end up with badges, and they watch out for each other, and they hey, this guy's about to retire. Let's give him overtime. Pack on overtime for this guy, folks. And that's because when he retires and he gets another job as a reserve deputy where he's double dipping, with that pension, in 2 years, he's a millionaire. And the taxpayers keep digging deeper. here.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, they're violating and destroying people's lives.
But
Yeah,
I just
they're
want to
not
put it out
saving
there.
lives. They're not being the heroes that people are digging deep in their illusion to help them with. They're really just, like I said, grifting the
Themselves.
system, and people have that illusion in their head, and you can't tell them different.
I just want to put it out there that I'm looking for one of those friends who knows the system. So
Anna, for real.
But they get everything for free. I mean, even the drugs, those that like the drugs, so they know where to find them, and they know how to get them for free. Do you know what I'm saying? They get everything for free. They get drugs for free. They get booze for free. They get coffee for free. They get donuts for free. They get McDonald's for free. Anything they want for free.
And if they don't get it, it's like,
you're getting a parking ticket.
I'll give that place a hard time.
Yeah,
it's like the mafia, man. They
exactly. It's like extortion, right?
Yeah.
You know, your mum's gonna get a ticket. Your sister's gonna get pulled over and harassed. Your fucking everyone's gonna get it, mate. Just because you decided to, you think you could,
I got this hat.
Stand up for your rights.
I got this hat at a yard sale or a thrift shop thing, right? And I wore it for one day, and the looks I got were just like people.
What does it say? You're a little bit small for us to read it.
Yeah, it's a small police department. Mary Esther, Florida.
Oh, it's one of her hats. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just had it at the church thrift shop where Rogue Nation was doing some bargain hunting. He goes to those things every time we go out and audit. He hits up one of those things because he resells stuff on eBay. Like he got these little slot cars for like 50 cents for 10 of them, and he sold each of them for like $200 a piece.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cha-ching.
Right. Something like that. But yeah, no, the looks I got from people, they were like forced smiles. Just like you ever watch like the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and the little Asian market that is being shaken down by the triad, the shopkeepers behind it when they're getting shaken down. Like that's how people were acting towards me with that stupid hat on.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny to wear like on an audit or something, but no, I'm never gonna wear that shit again.
People covering their necks.
They're scared though. I mean, instead of fear and respect, they've installed instead of respect and oh shit, my brain's fried. But they've installed that fear into people. People are brainwashed from an early age. As soon as they see them, they turn the other way. They keep away. They're afraid. They're drilled into them to be afraid of them. And when they come across somebody who stands up to them and literally chases after them like this guy, right? It throws them off balance, man. They're not used to it. They don't understand 1 minute. Why isn't this guy afraid?
I said they were like a cartel the other day on the panel, and a load of people were like, no, they're not that bad. I don't know. Like from all that's happening around that we seeing what's happening, like that young guy who's still sitting in prison because the cop had a heart attack. I mean, what the hell? What they're doing to people in our community, well, not just the people in our community, but the ones in our community are able to bring it out to us and show us what's happening. But I'm sure it happens to hundreds of thousands of people,
Yeah.
And all these small towns, how corrupt they are. It's crazy.
Little kids and how they see them taught from an early age. I teach my kids not to be afraid of them, not to disrespect them or anything either. It's more like look at them with caution and curiosity. See what kind of person this is. You know what they're capable of. My kids know that they can be bad. But they don't automatically like look at them. They know, that like my little boy has this deep understanding where he's like, we should not pay taxes, Papa. Then we don't have to pay for the job. I'm like, yes, exactly. Because he knows that they're being paid with tax dollars, and he's like, it doesn't make sense to keep paying them. So
No.
my kid
Yeah.
formulated the defund theory in his own head with
Even a child can understand that. You know what I mean?
Well, they can understand that human beings are human beings and they make mistakes, and these are just people. They're taught not to like just blindly worship and like, oh, look at this is your hero that's going to come and save you someday if you're ever in trouble. No, sir. They are taught the reality of things. Like, this is a person that will take a report after something happens. Hopefully, they might be able to help, but likely.
You need them to fill out your paperwork for insurance purposes.
Yeah, that's it. And in this rural area, they know they have to defend themselves. If I'm not here, they know that their mom can defend them, and they can defend themselves and their mom and me if I can't.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who was it that did that video? I think it was Pink Camera Magic. It's like 10 reasons why you should always call a crackhead instead of a police.
Call a crackhead.
Yeah, you're better off calling a crackhead than a policeman. You know what I mean?
You guys want to hear a scammer?
Huh? You got one on the line?
Yeah.
Do it.
Go. I will mute up though. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, are you there, Bakritron? Quit pushing buttons.
The reason for the call is there are some...
You're no fun. When they just push buttons like that, they can hear me. They're just pushing buttons. It's no fun.
Hey, it's probably an AI voice.
No, there's a guy pushing buttons because they're waiting to hear what I say. He's got a soundboard.
Yeah. It sounded a bit fake.
Yeah.
Sounded a bit AI.
Sorry, folks. I thought that would have been...
No, that's good. I get them all the time, and I only wish that, I was live when I was doing them.
Here we are. Mr. In Between, you know what it is? I'd like to have a chat with you at some point away from YouTube, like maybe get him in Jitsi Mellows.
Yeah, man.
Because he's got some good ideas, man, and he, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can help each other.
Yeah, just a conversation. But he says, honestly, the police is a magnet for individuals that want to hide in plain sight. I have a list of over 300 plus police constables convicted of sexual assaults over the last 5 years.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's crazy.
This is the point I was trying to make over on the People's Podcast the other night.
Hey, Mr. In Between,
sexual crime.
If you want some help doing some research and...
Now, do you know what it is? Basically, Mr. In Between, we've been talking a little while, yeah? And we've spoke about it on here, about building like almost like our own Brady list.
Yeah,
our own version of the Brady list, but over here.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the problems that we got, I was speaking about...
Because it's all in the public domain. So all these people, all these 300 plus people that they're all in the public domain when you look for it. So, I mean, there's nothing stopping us from making our own database, right?
The media are clearly not going to do it, right? So it's down to us to do it. I mean, there's no other choice. We haven't got no other choice. We have to do it, because the media are failing us. That's their job to do this, but they're not doing it because it's not in their interest, right? It's in their interest to communicate with the press office and read out whatever shit that they give them to regurgitate, right?
There we are. Absolutely. I like that as well. The police transparency database.
Yes.
That is pretty much that. Exactly.
You want to work with me on a project like that, man? I'd be glad to work on a project like that, man.
That's what I mean. Mr. In Between might be someone that needs to be put in your direction, because I know it's something that you've been talking about for a long time, Mellows. And it don't seem like he's the type of guy that's fucking about, man. He's like straight in there. Do you know what I mean? He seems like he's here to, like I say, make some noise and fucking highlight some of this shit. So
go over to Vigilante
we'll have to set it up.
Go over to vigilante.media, the forum we've got set up there. Sign up to it. Send me an email. We'll bring you into Jitsi, man. We can have a little chat and discuss and show you what we're doing, what we got, and we can go from there. Should we play the rest of this video?
Yeah,
For sure, yeah.
it's
We've only got a couple
frustrating
minutes.
because of the sergeant, but yeah.
Yeah. He's going to get spanked as well now, watch.
Oh, you pulled my name over.
Yes, I did.
For what reason?
For breaking the law.
Which law?
Failing to signal
Which signal? Where did he fail to signal?
when
Explain
he,
to me. No, I
when he
need
came
the
into
street.
this
Where at?
neighborhood.
Where at?
Well, I don't know all the streets visually,
Wow.
I'm going to give you a warning, though, okay?
but I got
Warning.
it on video.
Threat.
That's great.
Here's a
We can
threat.
reference it later.
Screw your warning, get lost.
If you
Screw your warning,
interfere
get
with my
lost.
deputies again,
Screw your
you
warning,
will go
get
to jail.
lost.
Do you understand
Screw
that?
your law, get
Do
lost.
you understand
I
that?
like this guy. I like this guy.
Get lost.
Okay.
Get in your car
So
and
it's
go.
on your phone
Yeah?
that I told you that morning.
What warning? What's the crime?
You
Don't
interfere
even
with my
know.
What's the crime?
obstruction. You can
Really?
look it up later,
It
okay?
has to be physical.
No.
He was doing nothing. Nothing.
You're keeping him from doing his job.
Go and get lost.
I'm okay.
Okay?
I'm going to actually get lost because you're
You will.
absolutely obnoxious.
You will get lost.
What's your YouTube channel?
Okay?
No, you're obnoxious.
YouTube channel where I'm
Go
posting
fuck
stuff.
yourself.com.
Okay.
You're a disgrace to the badge.
Oh, we got another one.
What's it called?
What's it called? Look it up. Look it up. You know who I am.
I don't know who you are.
Yeah, you
That's
are.
you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Take
Yeah,
on Miss Piggy
yeah,
with you.
you do. Yeah, you do.
I know you're an antagonistic.
No.
Well, if you know that, what the fuck are you doing there?
Really? So let's see.
You're trying to cause a problem.
Deputies break laws.
No, you're trying.
They
you're-
break
you're
laws.
Trying to cause
They
issues.
harass citizens. They arrest citizens
harassing
falsely.
who right now?
And when I confront them, you got a problem with it.
Right?
I have a problem with how you do things. You are escalating a situation. You
Is
had
it
a deputy
illegal?
pull over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
For breaking
you
the law.
flashed, right? You
For
started
breaking the
yelling
law.
at him.
For breaking the law.
You didn't explain to me which law.
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
Twice
You said breaking
illegal
the law.
U-turn and failed to turn the signal.
Where was
and
your
then,
illegal U-turn?
And then he tells me I'm being detained. Articulate the crime. No crime has been articulated. And immediately I'm undetained. Well, what is that? That's funny, huh?
Hold on. You were being detained because you stopped him?
No. Yeah?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You can go. It's
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Of course.
He hangs out to the shops with the 7-Eleven.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go, another threat.
What shops?
Where you show up at
For what crime?
47.
For what crime? Really?
Yeah.
For no crime?
Because I have control of that.
You don't have
You
that
don't have
control.
shit.
Right.
Okay?
You're gonna fucking
Try.
open yourself to
Try.
fucking lawsuit, mate.
Serve it
And
to me.
commission.
Serve
What
it
a
to me.
dickhead.
Yeah. Verbal trespass is BS. Okay? Have a good day. Verbal trespass is BS. Try it. Try to arrest me. Just try it. See? Tyrants come, tyrants go, and that's what happens.
I will arrest you for keeping us accountable.
Yeah, they call it obstruction. I looked it up, and it's one of those broad ones. A person is guilty of obstructing law enforcement officer if the person willfully hinders, delays, or obstructs any law enforcement officer in the discharge of his or her official powers or duties. That's part one, and then
That's
that's the one for Washington State where that video was recorded.
that that gives them the power to do anything to anybody, basically.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Rights, but the only crime that I saw being committed there was 18 USC 241.
Yankee die. Big up, man.
Right?
Yeah, that sergeant threatening him with arrest for like you said, holding them accountable. That's our freedom of the press. Trying to chill his
deprivation
First
of
Amendment
rights.
rights. That's a violation, and you can definitely
Yeah, it's over here. It's gross misconduct and is an indictable offence. Carries up to 14 years, but it
But I'm not a
never,
lawyer.
rarely, ever. We've never had anybody ever been even for the most heinous crimes, they just let them off, man. You know.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Just had to say that. But
Wow,
what part of
Brandon.
that name Siberian Tiger didn't give away that he was Russian?
Oh right, yeah, no, I'm stupid sometimes. Now I get it. I don't think sometimes.
No, he had a thick Russian accent. Well, not thick. He had a slight Russian accent. For me, I hear it. You know, you
I
guys
couldn't hear it. No, couldn't hear it. We thought it was
Like
just
you say, man, using word like terminologies like piss off. I don't really
yeah,
hear many Americans use that, right? Piss
yeah.
off.
Bollocks,
Yeah,
I
piss
should.
off.
that's
You
more
guys
of a
should make it
European
a
thing.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should make it a thing. Piss off. Brandon
Cocksucker,
Mitchell says, I was found guilty
wanker.
of obstruction for the tone of my speech. Holy shit. Those are the people who found you guilty of that are the domestic enemies the forefathers warned us about.
I want to
That
go back to what Mr. In Between was saying before, and I've kind of like I've touched on this before, right? When you look at these misconduct hearings, a lot of them seem to be for like sexual crimes, and in fact, some of the most heinous crimes known to society, right? And do these people purposely take these positions of power, so shall we say, so or authority, so that they can literally like just sit in plain sight, right? Like they've
Narcissistic
got more
people.
resources, they've got more resources to hand. They're if you know they're
it attracts
protected
them.
by that uniform. Because as I always say, if say for instance, Futoy, I don't know, someone's just stole your. Let's say someone's burgled your house, and you call the police, right? When the average member of the public calls the police, and the police come out to your address, now I believe that that individual doesn't look at the copper as an individual. They look at the uniform, right? So they put their trust into that uniform when you don't know who that individual is that's wearing that uniform. So, you know, like, think how many police officers, for Christ's sake, are dealing with like sexual offences, investigating sexual offences that are probably that way inclined themselves. It's you know, and they're stepping into people's home, dealing with vulnerable people, man. And again, because the police, most people are quite naive and go, "Oh, the police are there to help us and protect us." When in actual case, that's not very true, is it? You know?
We've got
Yeah.
videos of the police robbing the place, right? And literally looking through the place and taking the money and taking everything they find, watches, and sticking them in their pockets, and just literally rinsing the place out, right?
Right. PCSO is
A plastic police
a
officer.
plastic police officer, basically. Yeah, protection. What? I don't even know what it stands for. Actually,
They
these
don't
days.
have
PCSO,
full
'cause
powers. They don't have full powers of the
no,
police. They have
No.
they
some
just
powers
basically they took loads of
designated.
police off the streets, right? They took loads of police off the streets to like cut back on fucking money or whatever, and they replaced them with these PCSOs to go around like local communities, but they don't hold any powers. They can't. I don't even think they can
They
detain
have
them. Right?
no. They have some powers designated to them by the chief of police, right? Because they have a designation.
Yeah, what are they? What are they? Well, maybe
Yeah.
they can detain you. They can't arrest you.
Well,
You know,
I
the
think
benefit to this,
each one is different, right? So you can ask them for their card, and by law, they're supposed to have the card on their person. So you can say to the PCSO, "Can I see your designation card, please?" And they, some of them don't have it, but they should have it on their person all the time. But just to
But
get
yeah,
back to
they're
your,
a police. What is it? Community support officer. They're just to work within local communities. Really. Yeah. They
they're
just
not
pick up all
sworn.
the shit.
what you were saying about the police, it attracts a certain type of person, but I've been saying that about government in total, like politicians. That politics attracts a certain type of person, you know,
It
a
does.
power hungry sort of.
That's what I was going to say. Narcissistic people
Yeah.
tend to gravitate towards positions of authority. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and because of party politics, anybody who's in it for the right reasons gets kicked out. They're told you either go by the party's policies or what we think are agendas, or you can't be in the party anymore. Right?
Well, I think it's a little bit deeper than that. I mean, I think most of this is done off the public record not in dark rooms, but in secret rooms, in lodges, in little, events that are kind of sanctioned and authorized that allow them to do things and say things and agree on certain things like who to put into the next position of authority, that they all agree on. And if they can do these things in these backroom places where they're unaccountable or in secret, right, they don't have to do them in in public, because while they're on duty, everything they do is a matter of public record.
Well, like Wright was saying earlier, they
This is
know
why
the
it's so
system and they
important
know
that
how to
these things work
manipulate the
together.
system, right? They know how to make profit off the system. That's exactly right, and that's why they do that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, government just needs to create more government, right? It needs to give it
that
some
type of
reason to
person.
be a government, right? We pay them to talk. We don't pay them to solve problems. We pay them to create problems. You're muted, by the way, right? If you're talking to us.
Yeah, Kayak Girl, I didn't have anything to say. I was just wondering what PCSO is, because I thought you were trying to name an agency, and that could be the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, the Polk County Sheriff's Office, Palm County Sheriff's Office.
No, they're basically
very much the same.
Your version of public service aids, which we have over here. So,
yeah, that's it. Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. They're not exactly police, but they haven't sworn an oath.
Like I wrote, they use them here to deal with car accidents, and they have them at the front desk of the police station, just as like receptionists.
Their powers come directly from the police chief commissioner, almost like you know how I don't know if you guys still do it over there, where the sheriff deputizes people. That's how.
Yeah, only in the movies.
That's what I mean. I'm trying to kind of put it down in layman terms. That's how it is. The police commissioner gives them certain types of powers on a particular day.
That's right. A PCSO is a civilian in a high-vis jacket, basically.
with
a walkie-talkie.
In Ireland, we call them skivvies. Skivvies.
Mr. In Between, jump up on the panel.
Some elderly people who they just want to make them like feel more useful if they were feeling not useful, and they give them jobs at the police department. They have a whole like squad of elderly folks in this one agency.
That's crazy.
Yeah. and it's not a good thing. You if some of these people, they're losing their mind at a certain age, and they get triggered, and they call their buddy, and their buddy's like, "Oh, somebody's messing with Mr. Wallace. Let's blow their brains out," because nobody messes with Mr. Wallace.
They're a different generation. They did things differently in their time.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're trained for like less than 6 weeks here.
What do you mean? He's allowed to drink from that fountain now? I didn't know that.
But he's black.
It's funny how it takes 2 years to be a barber.
3 years, isn't it?
3 years before they give you a pair of scissors, let you loose on you with a pair of scissors. But here's a gun. In the meantime, here's a gun.
Whatever mental disability you might have, whatever language barrier you have to play that deadly game of Simon Says to a T, and you can't lose, or else you have to stay calm. You have to remain calm. You have to do exactly as you're told, even though you're scared. But they can get scared of an acorn, or not even an acorn, and blow somebody's brains out and not care. They don't.
For me, it's when he turned around and said, "I couldn't feel my legs." Like, again, I go back to like, if that's these people have got mental health issues. Again, I think Mr. In Between News touched on it.
Anybody who's crawling, say, I'm hit when you were not hit.
How would you feel being that guy, man? You've been arrested. Okay, you're in the back of the car. You see this copper approaching the car. Then just like the next minute, he just, I don't know what it would look like. Almost like he's falling to the floor, right? I don't imagine he's going to see him rolling. And then all of a sudden, like, they just open up clips on the car and just like, no way. That's some of the craziest shit I've seen in a long time. Honestly, there was no assessing the situation. Just let's fucking open fire until we got no bullets left.
Guys, if there is anybody that's been sleeping under a rock for the past week and doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about with the acorns and so on, I've got I don't know if you want to share that. I'm going to play the video again. We've got to play this video, guys. This has got to be one of the videos we have to play today.
Deputy Jesse Hernandez of the Okaloosa Sheriff's Office here in Florida arrested a guy who supposedly stole his girlfriend's car. They got her keys in his pocket and everything, but they put him in cuffs and threw him in the backseat of the car. As Deputy Hernandez was walking by the car, he did 3 combat rolls on the ground, pulled his gun out while he was on his side on the ground, and emptied 2 magazines into the back of his police car, and then crawled away saying he was hit. His another cop, that seemed like a plainclothes detective who was on the scene, came to his aid running, acting like there was a threat. Also, I believe she released some or discharged some her gun as well.
Unloaded.
But I guess he felt embarrassed that nothing happened and he just had a mental breakdown. He concocted the story that there was an acorn that fell out of a tree and hit his car, and that's the noise that he heard that caused him to do that. I don't think there was any noise. I think he just like snapped. He blew a gasket, and that happens to some people.
You know what?
There was a big acorn seizure today in that area.
They cleaned up the place.
The tree was not over the car, so how does an acorn fall on a car if it's not over the tree?
I know. Yeah. Let's play the video, Mellows. Get it up, man.
I've got it here. Can you see my screen?
Hang on, sorry, I'm not looking backstage. I should be.
Hold up. How does he know it was an acorn? How does he know that? He jumped to the ground and offloaded.
Well, obviously they investigated.
Hey, people, if you haven't seen this in the chat, please watch it, because this is some crazy shit.
I don't think it's the first time he falsified a police report.
I don't think so. It tells me you might be right there. You might be onto something. You know, I want to point out though the obvious elephant in the room. I want to point out the perfection in the forward rolls. He did not 1 but 2 perfect
good form
forward rolls, right? While being shot at, right? So I mean that's been difficult as it is, but while being shot at with acorns, this guy done 2 perfect forward rolls like Starsky and Hutch, and he just unloaded like he was on like Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Anyway, you got my screen up. Shall I play?
Yeah, it's playing, man. It's there. Press play. It's playing.
My car back. I've been asking all night. Can I get my car back? Like, I don't care about the argument. I don't even know what the argument is about. I just want my car. I don't want to deal with anything. I know anytime we get into it, whether I'm right or wrong, like he puts his hands on me or he threatens to put his hands on me, it gets very violent. There he is.
Yeah, Mellow, skip it along with it, man.
You tell the cops that somebody is violent. That's a Karen trying to get somebody killed, man.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
They're not scared. They know the cops' capacity of killing people, and they tell them the trigger words.
Right. Like the video doesn't really explain the backstory. It was his ex-girlfriend who said he stole money and did something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the guy that they're going to cuff him up and everything. Put him in the car. He's going to be handcuffed in the back of the car.
Pat him down, please. What's that? Pat him down. Do you have any weapons on you? No. Okay.
Right, so at this point he's being patted down as well, right?
Do you have any weapons on you?
Oh, shit. So we've established he has no firearm, right?
And it was the same dickhead that searched him, right? This dickhead. So he knows that he ain't got a gun.
Yeah. That car is not under that tree. Fiery deer.
Where's her car?
Yeah. We're going to see his car in a minute.
It was in fact an acorn that fell on the
even if there was an acorn, like
there is an acorn tree.
Right?
It is
He's
right.
cosmologist.
I know, but he's trying to use the argument that there was an acorn. No one's disputing that there wasn't. But
I am, and I bet you that there wasn't.
I've got a video,
and I bet you anything, Fiery Deer was not there to say that in fact there was one. So,
yeah. And I don't remember who, but someone did go there, and in fact, there is a tree. I'll rewind it now in a second.
No, carry on playing. It's quite long anyway.
There is a tree. We'll see it anyway in a minute. There is a tree there, and apparently it is an acorn tree. But whether an acorn dropped and hit the car or not is,
Listen, but even if it did, who's heard a gun go off, man? I mean, rights, I know you have, right? A gun's got a very distinctive sound when it goes off. I mean, it sounds nothing like a fucking acorn hitting a car. It just wouldn't. Sorry.
The evidence they pointed to was this woman's, the woman's officer, the one that wasn't next to the car. She had the sound on her, apparently on her body cam. There was like a chick, but it sounded really like it didn't sound real anyway. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, they said that there was a sound that they amplified and to kind of cover up for this fucking idiot. I mean, this is the extent that they're going to go to. Do you know what I mean?
But Bear, I'm disputing as well, because how can they know it's an acorn unless they've seen it happening, right?
No, because the way the car is,
they're only guessing. They're only guessing. They're only saying it must have been an acorn.
I think he just came up with that. Like, why did you just freak out, man?
There is an acorn tree there.
What could it have been? It must have been an acorn.
Must have been, yes. Not it was. It must have been, because there's no way to know if it was or wasn't. They heard a noise. That's all.
There is one way to know whether it fell on the car or not, and that's to see if any of those branches are hanging over the car. And we can see it in the video that they're not.
Let's have a look.
Well, no, let's just skip it to like nearer the point, man.
Yeah.
Can you call your mom to see?
Yeah. It was maybe there.
Here we clearly see he's already been searched. He's handcuffed with his hands behind his back, right?
Right.
And we continue.
Search.
We continue. We're chatting some more shit. She's burying the guy.
Yeah. Go back. It's just that.
Contract.
There we do.
Well, here we go.
Where is it?
So by this point, the guy's in the back of the car. By this point, right?
Yes.
That's those apartments.
Yeah, I did watch this on my personal time. It's crazy.
This is fucking insane, bro.
Wow. How far is that? I mean, walking about 2-3 miles. Walking.
Yeah, thank you. Because I'm supposed to be mad at the cop. I'm getting mad at those girls.
Even though they look really nice, I'm still
see
mad.
that tree there.
Here it is.
Look it. Hold on.
Look how far it is.
It looks like it's over it. Hold on. Is it? I don't think so.
It could be.
It could be.
What did he do that for?
Yeah, man. That is not cool. That is not cool, man.
No, it's not cool.
Is
not cool.
Is he deceased or what?
There's a squirrel in the tree going, what the hell did I just do?
I'm hit.
Walking away whistling.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can say is that you're hit. Maybe your partner hit you.
No, she didn't start firing until after.
He's been like, you're just insane. Is that guy like? I don't know. He's having some kind of
I'll
episode.
concede. I think there was maybe one branch that was over that car, but yeah, so I'll concede it could have hit the car, but still doesn't excuse this ridiculous shot.
No, man, it wouldn't sound like a gunshot. Not for shit. Someone go try it.
It
Get yourself an acorn.
Red dot side
Even
and everything.
if there was a gunshot, lying
I'm
about
hit.
He didn't get hit.
It's not even funny, but you gotta laugh at the stupidity, man.
Of course. There's the Tesla.
Yeah, don't hide behind the engine block of that thing.
If that was my car, I'd be really pissed.
That might blow up. Be
Catch
careful.
fire.
It's electric.
I'd be like, get the fuck away from my car, you stupid moron.
But he shot into the back of the
Yeah, she thinks her boyfriend's been. She's thinking, shit, what have I done?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Right. Good. Stop calling the fucking road
stupid
pirates.
bitch.
Yeah, I would never call the police in my life unless I really need them.
There's no way the bullet would have went through the back of the police car and hit the guy anyway, right?
I'm fucking amazed how the guy's still alive.
Scenario, where would you really need them? I'm just curious. I'm thinking about it. Like
Me?
Yeah. I'm not trying to.
If somebody's trying to shoot me, that's the only reason I'm gonna call them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why. If it's super violent, where guns are involved, yes.
Let's say that you had guns to defend yourself.
I don't. That's why I would call them.
But let's say you did.
Then I wouldn't call
any
them.
other scenario.
Yeah. Then I wouldn't call them. Yeah. Then I wouldn't call them and I'd handle it myself. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
But can you think of another scenario where you would call them?
No. Only that scenario. Yeah. So we're on the same page then. I'm trying to get my Second Amendment right back soon. So.
Yeah, man. That sucks that they took it from you.
So true, Mr. In Between. Never call them. Nothing good can come from it.
Exactly.
I don't know. I felt like it.
The two good things I can say about this body cam video.
People have called for help before and the cops turned on them.
Jesse, come back.
I mean, the guy in the car, he didn't even get injured, did he?
No, thank God.
So we have established, thank God, that they have got a shit shot. Yeah, they're not very good.
I think he has a case now.
Switch to her camera now.
They need to go back to fucking shooting range, man.
Now watch what's behind the car. Look where she's shooting in the direction.
What's up at the Florida cops? They all got red dot sights.
Get back! Where is he?
If he got shot by her.
Wow, look at him.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Shots fired! I got a deputy
Look
down.
what's on the other side down there. Look, let me pause this.
Yeah,
look
like
at the across the street. Can you see that?
That's the paperwork.
That's like a camping site, right? Where there's families over there, right? And
Oh, yeah.
kids and people, like, you know what I mean?
She's just opening fire.
She's just opening fire.
Reckless disregard. Yep.
What if it hit the petrol tank, the gas tank?
Agreed.
She almost shot her fucking friend.
I think this guy has a really good valid case on his hands.
I got a deputy down. Jesse, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm under a Tesla.
You want to fucking find the police, yeah?
Jesse, how are you? Okay.
Oh God, the screeching from the girl.
When they called them.
EMS on standby.
Let's look at the culprit. That's the fucking Karen.
Where are you hit? Get back! Get back!
I'm going to shoot her as well.
Big up, Kaya. Take care, girl. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Kaya.
Okay. Get back! I'm not gonna tell you go! Get back! Get back! Get her back now!
Oh man, can you play the James Freeman version of this? It's just
of course.
Good. It's too good.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
You know, I've got to say, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, Rights Crispy, but I really love James Freeman.
Why would you take that the wrong way?
Why would I take that the wrong way?
You're hilarious. Well, you should have said no homo then before you said that. Oh man.
You know, some people get funny. Like, oh, you got,
No.
you don't like me better. You know what I mean? No, but James Freeman, I love this guy's film.
No, man, I took my family cross country, and he drove. I don't know if it was like an hour or two out of his way to meet up with us to have a coffee at a McDonald's. I'm like, coffee? Aren't you fucking Mormon? I think it was
No way.
nice guy, man.
He's
Super
Mormon?
nice guy. That's what. Yeah.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like this. This is so funny. It's Deputy
He was
Rick
live earlier
Bobby.
on tonight. I was watching him. He was with AFA, a whole bunch of them. You remember that judge that was drinking, getting drunk with a grandchild?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was covering that. They were live down there. They were trying to keep him out of the building, and they spanked him good. In the usual.
Mr. In Between News says, I thought UK cops were terribly trained. These US cops are on another level. Oh, this is why, like, you gotta, like, I wish in this country, like, we could bear arms and stuff. We've had that all taken from us. But then on the other hand, I look and I think, thank fuck our police haven't got guns. Honestly, could you imagine those goons with guns, man?
Right.
Then, honestly,
It's Officer Ricky Bobby, that second video up there at the top.
He does so many.
Does anybody know what happened with the cops?
I'm blind, man. I'm going past it. Where is it?
Keep going up. That one right there, that second one.
Officer Ricky, that one.
Yeah.
James, don't give me a stroke for this, bro.
So perfect.
Shot fire! I'm on fire! All right, you're not on fire! I knew you're
You're not in fire.
That's great.
Jesse, are you
Fucking.
Hey, you seen this guy crawling on the floor? Oh wow.
Jumping on Ricky, trying to put the non-existent fire out. Now that's it.
Shots fired. I got deputy down.
This is going down. That's going to be a great time to go to commercial.
Oh,
wow, that's great.
That's genius,
That's
man.
great.
Genius.
That
Perfect
was
smash
fucking
up.
beautiful, man.
We
Guys,
gotta
go
start
and
doing
join.
that. That's actually
Subscribe
pretty
to
cool.
this guy's channel, man.
I think he needs more likes than that. That was good.
You know, every fucking time you watch that, man, the guy's gonna make you laugh, man. He makes my guts like.
And what he does this all from his on the road, right? Rice Krispie.
Oh no, he's got his homestead out there. He just had a baby too, man.
Oh, okay. Congrats. I thought he was an RV guy.
Hey, he's got an RV on his homestead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. But he doesn't move it. He's kind of got like a good spot where he's holding up, you know.
Yeah. How are you doing, by the way? All good? I haven't seen you
Yeah,
in a
man.
bit.
Good. Just filed a complaint against my own attorneys. I had to.
Man. Hey, you want to know what I figured out? So I figured out that when you hire an attorney, they file a form called. Hold up, it's an IRS form. Might want to take a look at it. It's an IRS form 211. Check it out. Google it right now, and you're gonna see a spot that says attorney. So it seems like anytime you get charged with something, they basically file this because the charge is a tax.
No. Well, this isn't a criminal case that I.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just
my civil lawsuit against the cop for the unlawful arrest. Yeah.
I might need to talk to you because you know how to file stuff, right?
No, that's why I got these people to do it.
Oh shit!
I do actually. I can go through it, but it's such a pain in the ass. You want to get a lawyer to do it because you can file it. You got all that done. Whew, that's a big step, right?
Yeah.
But then you've just entered the game. You got to keep playing tennis because they're going to do a motion to dismiss, and you have to write your motion to get that thrown out. So like the judge, your response to that motion, right?
Right. You do. Yeah.
What's up, Joe Cool?
What's up,
Yeah,
Joe?
big up Joe Cool, man.
Joe, hop on.
Yeah, actually, Joe, I'm not leaving because of you. It's dinner time here. The little kid just came and reminded me I gotta make him some dinner. But
appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, man.
Have you managed to take a look at your site yet, right?
Yes, sir. I love it.
Okay. Is there anything you want me to add, change, or remove?
I don't think so.
It should auto sync all your videos automatically. Right?
Yeah, I don't have anything I can add, like I can think of, because I haven't gotten any merch or anything yet. Once I do get merch, like something like that, right?
We can help you with that. Nice. Do you want me to set up
yeah, we'll set up the multiple, can't we?
I got my buddy. I'm gonna give him the business. He's got the t-shirt printing thing and everything.
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
well, even better. I can set up a store on there and basically get it ready for you. All you got to do is just
drop everything in there.
Yeah, just drop everything in there.
Not for nothing. I love my logo, and I can't wait to have that shit. Like I'm wearing this guy's right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh gee.
Yeah, that is cool.
And a sticker my kids gave me. Little dinosaur, Papa. Oh,
yeah.
And,
in between.
Take care, man.
Thank you for having me on. Thanks to everybody watching now and in the future in the chat.
It's a pleasure, man.
Later.
Right, pleasure. Always a pleasure, man. You're a legend.
Thank you, man. Futoy called me up, and of course, my brother Futoy. I'll answer his call.
Yeah.
Later.
Take care,
bro.
So, what's the deal?
Wingnut, welcome back, bro.
Yeah, I'm back.
What's up?
I've been having problems with my car and all this other crap. I'm having to deal with it. So
damn,
I couldn't stay long last time. I was doing work on it. It's like a constant problem all my life. Is a freaking car. I've always had problems with vehicles. It just seems like
car is
working. Well, the one I've got now is like a 2000 Mazda Protege, piece of crap. But like it just seems like all cars through my life I've always had problems with. I'm always working on them.
I need to knock on some wood real quick because my car, some real wood. Hold on, my car is pretty hasn't gave me no issue, dude. My shit got 140,000.
Yeah, don't jinx
it. Why you think I knocked on the wood?
Yeah, no kidding.
Hopefully this works.
Yeah, that was what I was sitting there. I was debating on actually calling my buddy up, man, and like, hey, man, this thing is so far it's working. I didn't want to jinx myself, so I didn't even call him.
At least do you have like a buddy that works on the cars, or you're the one that goes and fixes it?
No,
yourself?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I can't afford to take it anywhere, and I don't really have any. The shade tree mechanics are kind of dying off,
that's
man.
What you call them? I call them alley mechanics.
Yeah. Well, down here in Florida, just get a big shade tree and just park it up under there, and that's where we do all our work.
Right. I got a couple alley mechanics I called. I went from
in Erie County, man. Good to see you.
Big up, bro.
Oh, congrats on the 100K as well, bro. See you hit
it's like a rocket, man. It's still flying.
I went from an easy car to fix to a hard car to fix.
Jump up.
Wait, say that one more time.
So I went from a Honda Civic that was stick shift to a Mercedes Benz. So imagine that switch.
I've had quite a few cars over my kind of vehicles over my life. So
knocking on wood, because the Mercedes got more miles than my Honda, and it got no problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, the car that I've got now, the only thing I can say about it that's on a good side is it gets decent gas mileage, and it's it's a stick shift. So I mean, those are the only two things that I like about it. Everything else is crap.
Yeah,
but I mean, I had no choice. I my other vehicle took a crap on me, so I had to buy something else, and somebody sold me that one for like $500. So
actually, I hid my Honda because I wasn't trying to pay for it no more.
Yeah, we'll just throw that out in the swamp and catch it on fire. I don't know what happened to it.
I just didn't answer their calls, and you know what they did? They took it off my credit report and reported it as a loss. And I'm sure they're gonna get the money on their taxes, so they can leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, dude, I love my stick shift Honda, bro. I used to just burn out just to burn out.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I got an old Pathfinder over here that I would love to get working again, but the engine's knocking a lot, so I have to probably replace the engine.
I went through like 4 or 5 clutches in my life, and I will never let nobody drive my car that don't know how to drive stick shift.
Well, I mean, honestly, man, that's kind of like a theft deterrent. Has stick shift.
I agree. I used to leave it running all the time in the gas station in the hood, and they're like, I'm looking at them. Go ahead, try to steal it. Stick shift, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to drive them things anymore. Yeah.
I did a lot of tuning to my shit. I tuned the muffler to pop. So I would just drive, let off the gas, and
I'm just gonna say, anyone watching over, because this is streaming on a couple of channels, I think. So anyone watching over on my side, if you want to carry on with the live, jump over to either the Grim Reaper network.
That's on yours and Grim's
channel, yeah, or go over to Eyes on the Audit as well.
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking about restreaming. Do you guys mind?
No, you can restream. Yeah, no problem. You ain't gonna get no strike from me, buddy.
Yeah, we're like the guys, dude.
We're here to build a network, man.
Yeah, bro, we got the technology to restream.
We got more. We got some shit over here, bro.
I've got some plans.
County, if you're here, you just reminded me, Nick. The idea, I don't know if you're still here, Erie County. You gave me an idea last time we spoke. We've been working on it. We've got something we'd like to show you. If you want to jump up, we could have a little chat.
Hey, you want me to drop our private chat in the back?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a link. This is where you can find us. I put it into private, so you got to put it wherever else you want it to go.
So, you gave me an idea one time about collecting and storing freedom of information.
Oh yes.
Well, we've been working on that
good
idea,
one,
and I think we've got something that will be very useful to the community. So when you're ready, come and join us. We'll show you what we got, and I think you're gonna like it.
Oh, was I supposed to put this in the actual chat? Because I put it in.
No, put it in the private chat.
Oh, okay. I forgot what I was doing. Brain fart.
So yeah, anyone over on my side, like I said, I'm going to shut it down over on my channel now and just leave this streaming through.
Don't do it yet. Let me go like.
I'm still going to be live, man. We're still going to be live on Eyes on the Audit.
No, I know, but I'm trying to leave you a like before you do that.
And Grims.
Okay.
I popped around to everybody's and gave everybody a like and all that stuff. Everybody that was restreaming. Yeah, I went to everybody's.
I'm going to go to yours too right now.
Anarchy Television. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay, how do I end it?
I'll go right now and do it for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, you guys, man. My channel, I haven't really done anything on my channel in a little while, man. My dad passed away in the middle of January, and I just haven't really done anything since then for some reason. I haven't really figured out exactly what I want to talk about yet. Sorry about that, dude. Yeah, well, none of us are getting out of this alive, right?
No, of course not. I'm trying to, that's like I don't even want to talk about that, dude, because my old man's pretty, old already, bro.
Yeah, I think my dad was 77, something like that.
How old are you?
50.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm 26, bro, and my dad's 78 already.
So yeah. I can just imagine if I had kids right now, yeah, they'd be in 20 years, they'd be, I'd be, I'll be 70, they'd be 20. man, I'm just like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, my dad has a gap in the ages of his kids, so I'm considered the uncle, and my nephews are older than me. It's pretty funny.
I don't know.
Like
I'm trying to figure out exactly what I need to talk about. I mean, there's a few things that I was wanting to address. I mean, you know, what now?
What interests you?
Oh, a lot of things. I'm interested in a lot of things. Well, the auditing thing, actually, man. Back in the late '90s, I used to do cop watching before the internet even came into play. I used to go around cop watching with a VHS camcorder on my shoulder.
Oh wow.
But I haven't done it since then.
I mean, oh, I found your channel. Found it.
I mean, the only problem is like I just don't want to be anywhere near cops anymore. I don't even want to.
I agree.
So if I'm gonna do anything like that, I'm gonna be kind of like Overwatch. I'll be sitting way back with a telephoto lens, parabolic microphone, and drones and all that shit, kind of watching way far away. I don't want them getting anywhere near me, you know. But I like to keep up with the what I call the movement, because this is not a new thing, you know. This auditing thing, or they call it the First Amendment auditors and stuff like that. It's been around for a long time, even before the internet. So
right,
I like now that everybody's got a camera in their pocket. You know, I think it's really awesome how it's evolved over the years.
Right. Yeah, it has evolved pretty fast. I think.
Well, I mean, you know,
I forget what year it is. I know it's not this year. I think it was like around 2020. It's like where it started to really just. Don't quote me on this, but there was one year where it just started to fucking go crazy, and a whole bunch of people were coming out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like I said, I've been watching everybody. I mean, I've been on YouTube for what 2018 on the Anarchy Television channel. I had a couple other channels before that, but so I've been around YouTube for a long time. And I've been watching.
One video you got posted is called "What Do You Think?" Let's talk about it.
It's just a bunch. Yeah, it was just actually I think that one. I can't remember. That might have been me and Joe Cool talking. That might have been me and Joe Cool were sitting up on a panel and we were sitting having a conversation about stuff. I think that's what it was. And then I had another one.
Personally, know Joe Cool. We're from the same city.
Oh, right on. Yeah, me and Joe Cool friends. Yeah, I mean, I haven't met him personally yet, which is you know, unfortunate. But you know, we talk to each other. I got to.
When he a couple of years ago when he was here, because he hasn't been in the city for a while. I remember we went to a police shooting that was not too far from us. Like I used to hop in his car with him, and we used to just go around because I had the police scanner, and we would just go to different spots where the police were at.
Yeah, well, you know, me and Joe, we got each other's phone numbers, you know, so we'll send each other texts and stuff like that, and you know, and there's a couple of other channels that will get up on panels and talk and all that stuff, and you know, I think he's a very legit and
for sure,
a legit man. I like him for that. Absolutely. I mean, I respect him for that, you know.
Me as well.
But
I remember one time Chuck Bronson came to the city, and then Joe Cool was with him, and they came and picked me up, and I'm sitting in the back seat.
I bet that'd be fun. I mean, honestly, I'd love to sit down and smoke a blunt with a man and have
we did.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, I'd like to sit down, you know, come out here in the woods out here, and
where are you at?
Know, I'm in Florida,
right?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm up here in the Panhandle, so I'm not that far away from quite a few different people that are in the auditing thing.
Yeah.
You know, like Wright's Crispy is down here in Florida. Rogue Nation, Poor Dirt Farmer is like probably 3 hours away from me. You know, there's a few people here around this area, in Florida. I mean, you know, I watch Big Nick down in South Florida, but he's way down in Miami. Okay,
so he's
broke fishing in chat. What's happening, man?
What's up, buddy?
But I mean, you know, I'm interested in a lot of different things. My channel.
You could just do different. You could just do different playlists for, you know, different types of things you like.
I do. I've got a lot of playlists.
Oh my god, the straw man. Oh my god, you know about that? Oh my god, dude.
There's
Most
a lot of
people
stuff.
don't know about the straw man. Why don't you dig more into that?
Well,
That'll
I
give
mean,
you some traction, dude.
to be honest with you, man, I've had at least 1,000 videos deleted by YouTube.
How deep are you into the whole straw man and the all caps name?
Well,
Are you pretty
I've done a
deep into
lot of
this?
research into it. Yeah, I've done a
Have
lot
you
of research.
actually you've ever corrected your status or not yet?
I have not. But I mean, you know, and
Caveat
it's
or
not.
no?
Well, it's not because I'm afraid to or anything like that. It's just there's a lot of paperwork and all this other stuff, man. I just haven't really sat down and done all that stuff
Right.
yet.
One more question: Have you taken this into court and won?
No,
Okay.
I try to stay out of court. Honestly, I mean, I try to stay out of it altogether.
Yeah, bro. Most people have no idea of this, and that's what this is the topics that I really like. Like yesterday when we were on the People's podcast, it got pretty interesting because we were talking about this. Seems
Yeah,
like
I know Eli too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's some
like
interesting
most people
stuff.
Don't know
Yeah.
this. That they walk around representing a corporate fiction their whole life. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's
hate
like, well, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, you know, most people get really angry and defensive and depressed when they find out that they've been lied to their entire life.
I'm fucking depressed as fuck, dude. Like, I don't even want to fucking wake up and go to work. I'm not saying that I'm like trying to hurt myself, but I just like I don't want to be normal, bro. Shit drives me nuts, dude.
Well, I don't see it. I don't really see it, being well adjusted to a sick society. You know, I don't see that, being, part of sanity.
Yeah. I think
You
we were
know what
just
I mean?
geared into this on purpose, and we just got to figure it out and like unlearn and relearn some shit, you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, I like on that note. All right. I don't know if you guys know what a didgeridoo. It's a musical instrument. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but
It's a communication device they use in Australia by the Aboriginals.
Okay. Well,
favorite musical instrument used by a famous.
Never even heard of it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Not the case, right? Then Rolf Harris used one of those.
Well, a didgeridoo is just basically in Australia it's made out of a hollowed out eucalyptus tree that by ants and termites and stuff, and they just kind of they blow in it like a wind instrument, and it's got that type sound to it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it took me 2.5, almost 3 years to figure out the circle breathing. Because you're constantly blowing out your mouth while breathing in your nose at the same time. So technically I had to forget how I learned or how I know how to breathe and relearn it.
That's crazy.
And I kind of relate that to a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff out there that we just got to forget what we know and relearn it.
I have the perfect example of that.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, you get these kids that are 18, just getting out of high school. One of their family members might have been a wildland firefighter. They're like, hey, go make some money for college. I can get you a job in the fire industry. They go to class. They do incredibly well in their class. Then we bring them out to the real world, to the fire, and we have to totally retrain them of how it's done out there, because it ain't done exactly how the book says. And some things you just take the book and go, okay, except for the safety part of this, I'm going to toss that over my shoulder because we're doing something that's totally out of the norm. But to those of us who have been doing it for a long, long time, it is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I agree in some ways because, I mean, all that training is in a controlled environment. When you get out in the real world, there's all kinds of chaotic things that could happen any moment. So in that controlled environment, you're really not trained, or you're not trained to actually, to deal with those unexpected things. It's kind of like a cop going into, breaching a house. They can train in a controlled environment all you want, but once you get to an actual house where somebody's actually trying to fire at you, you gotta be extra cautious. That person's not on your same wavelength. They're not thinking, in a controlled environment. They're just trying to do something, so yeah. It's one of them things.
But your training in that controlled environment will have a reaction of how you react for the rest of being at the actual job.
Right.
If you can rely on your training. Some people don't really, it's like kind of like the acorn guy. I don't know. Was that training or was that like, off
That
hours
was
type?
scared out of his mind and too much Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly. That's what it reminded me of. Exactly. Exactly.
This guy rolled and
I'll give
everything.
him a 10 out of a 10 for
He said,
his
"Drop, stop, and roll."
acrobatics that he performed while
Right.
doing that and trying to kill the
Oh my
individual
god,
in his
dude!
car that he had already searched and knew didn't have a gun. But
Yeah.
his Grand Theft Auto playing took over and he just
Yeah,
went nuts.
Yep.
The
that guy
only
needs
thing
to
he
quit.
did right, was the acrobatics.
Yeah, he needs
You
to
know,
go get a job.
also, I'd like to add, he really did fucking kill that car, didn't he?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that car was
that
done
car's
for,
dead.
man. Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
surprised the
Fucking
individual
poor
in
car.
it didn't get hit. That's
Well,
the
They're
most
made
amazing
because
thing
they're
about
made
all
pretty
that
well.
is he didn't get hit.
They're
the
made
only
pretty
thing
well.
is he's got one hell of a lawsuit, but the only problem is that we, the
And
people, are going to end up paying for it. You know
Of
what I
course,
mean?
that's
and
what I was saying. It's a good
PTSD
lawsuit.
for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine what starts going through his mind when a cop stops him?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
dude,
Oh,
I saw an interview
exactly.
of him after the fact, and there he was like, he just leaned his head over and just prayed. That's all he did. He just kind of leaned his head over and prayed, and nothing hit him. So I was like, man, something was protecting him on that end of it because I mean, there was two people mag dumped on him,
Mm-hmm.
basically,
More than
and
once, from what
And
I'm
where
hearing,
was
they
that, in Florida?
reloaded.
yeah. And that's unfortunate too, because a lot of the cops here in America, man, that's like their first go-to is the mag dump, and then ask
They,
questions.
they
I, my dad's
they're carried.
military. I was taught the double tap and look. You
Right.
just don't get rid of every single round you
That was a full
have.
17
Right.
rounds, right? They dumped.
They
Yeah.
dumped every round they had in the clip.
Yeah.
That would be
Including the
18 if he had
18
one
in the
in the
head.
chamber.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, because what is it? 9 millimeters, probably 18
Yeah.
or so right in one
A
magazine. So
Glock
they
will hold
carry at least two more magazines on them most of the time.
a Glock
Right.
holds 17 in the magazine, one in the chamber
Yeah.
for
One in the
18,
chamber.
and
Yeah.
Right.
he
That
so
wasn't a Glock though.
well. That's
Whatever it
just an
was.
example.
No, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I noticed they all have
I
red
just had a
dot
thought.
sights. Interesting to me.
I just had
And
a
still
thought.
can't hit anything.
Right. What the
If
fuck's
he had,
the point?
if he had to pay for those bullets, I bet he would have been more reserveful.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. That was one of the things that I tried to write in the chat, but YouTube wouldn't let me put it in there. It kept on deleting it, and I was like, dude, I really want it mandatory that cops wear shock collars, and every time they violate anyone's civil rights, they get shocked with 50,000 bolts. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
I think they would start thinking about what the hell they're doing before they do it. Yeah.
we can't drive around and see every cop sitting in his car shaking.
I bet you that guy went home like, what the fuck did I just do?
Oh,
dude,
he shouldn't have been allowed to resign. I hope that the agency goes ahead and removes his certification and takes away his right to own a weapon on the job or as a civilian, because he obviously don't know how to use it. And his training of a shoot every single round you have. I mean, my dad's career military, I was trained from a little kid on. One shot, two shot, better look at what you're shooting at if you even hit it.
Right.
You can't do that if you dumped 17 rounds and you don't even know if you hit what was going on. It's just, it was a conspiracy by the squirrels. He'd been messing with the squirrels in his yard. So, when he was right under that tree, the squirrel that lived in the tree, punked him.
I bet you that's what they were doing, sitting up there and like, I see that motherfucker coming, boom, throw it at him.
It's got to have been a mental health episode or something,
Yeah,
though, right?
that has to be a disgrace to the police department.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, they're probably gonna find him not guilty. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know if how it's turned out yet. But man, they always do that investigating ourselves, and we found like he was doing the right thing.
And that's what's wrong with every police department in the world is
Yeah.
they get to investigate their own. It's not the state coming in or this. They get to investigate themselves. I'm sorry, but if me and Bear or me and Mellows are or me and you are in the same company and I have to investigate you, and it's going to look really bad on the company if I find you just went nuts and you were wrong, guess what you're going to be? You're not going to be guilty. I'm not going to say that. to destroy the company, and that's what they do. Now, if we're not part of the same group, and I come in to investigate you, I'm going to tell you, boy, you were effing stupid that day, weren't you? You need to go have a mental evaluation. I'm saying you were guilty, but they won't do that because it's the same union that gets people, members, presidents that get to investigate them. That's one of the biggest problems with all these investigations. I'm not going to find you guilty of anything if we're part of the same group, part of the same union. I'm going to tell everybody else. I might tell you personally, boy, that was stupid, but when the report comes out, you didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not going to make myself look bad by making you look bad. That's just, and we know that's the way it is.
Hang on, it sounds like you want more transparency and accountability. How dare you?
Oh, wait a minute. Would that yeah.
It's asking for too much, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe, possibly, just a little more, But I had a really bad incident as a teenager, and they were found to do nothing wrong. And
that is a problem too, because they'll give them that option to resign. Well, then they go over to the next precinct, the next county over, and then they get a job and doing the same exact thing again.
Or the next state, and then they get to do it again.
Well, I mean, it was like what you guys were talking about earlier with that the list, like the Brady's list or the whatever the other list is here in America. That shows all these.
Needs to add him to that.
Huh?
Do you know what most people are confused? Did you know if you actually have the paperwork, video, and that you can submit it to the Brady's list as a civilian, and you can get an officer at it as long as you have the paper trail, all the paper trail. You were arrested for something that ended up being civil rights violation bad, and you have video of it. You have the body cams of it because you went to court. You get them in discovery, and you got the whole paper trail lying on a report in there. You can submit that as a civilian to the Brady's list, and if they find that you're correct, they will add that officer to the Brady's list. Prosecutors and judges, just go look up Brady's list. It's right there. You can do that to prosecutors and judges. People just don't know it because they don't realize that the Brady's list can get civilian reports. It doesn't have to be the agency adding you.
Yeah. I think there's another list also. It's like a more modern name. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the same kind of thing as the Brady list.
There's the website you guys are talking about is the gigliobrady-list.com.
Yeah.
It's built by a friend of mine called Johan Drosch.
Cool.
Brilliant
tell him thank you.
Yeah.
Because I love that civilians can submit reports and evidence, and it actually, if they're found to be factual, that officer, that prosecutor, that judge gets at it. That's like rock and roll.
And then that paper trail is on their jacket. That's the other thing too. Is like, that's why they try to keep that to the point where they just let them. They say, "Well, will you investigate it?" And they found nothing wrong. Because honestly, man, if that stays on their jacket, you know what I mean. They don't want it to stay on the jacket. They want that thing to be clean. You know what I mean. And it's an unfortunate thing too, because I'm serious, man. A lot of these cops really shouldn't be cops. I mean, I really believe that cops do not become psychopaths. I think psychopaths really become cops.
Yes, that's exactly what I said earlier. They gravitate to these positions of authority because it's where they're safe. It's where they can exercise their. It's where they get their satisfaction from, right?
Well, I thought it was. Freedom. I thought it was so damn funny when James Freeman, he was like, "I'm gonna go put an application into cops because I want to be able to murder people and I don't want to get in trouble for it. So I'm gonna become a cop." I thought it was hilarious.
That was funny, man. That was funny. I remember that.
Has me in stitches, man. That guy's got.
Yeah, dude, I was laughing my ass off when he was doing that.
A perfect example of the Brady list is that Officer Frank. He pulls people over and all that. Do you know that he's already been found that he can't testify in court, but they keep that information that he's on the list for not testifying in court, away from people, because all you have to do is go, I want to face my accuser, and they have to throw it all out because he can't testify in a court and be believed because something he did in his past, and he's on the Brady's list. But they're running a YouTube show with him pulling over traffic.
Did see that. Running a YouTube show.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's a fucking jagoff.
Yep. And he's actually can't testify in court. It's already came out twice last year.
So what the fuck is the point? I'm gonna just a revenue maker.
Because 90% of people will not fight the ticket. The judge will go. If it's $100 ticket, the judge knocks it down to 75. They happily pay it instead of saying, "No, I want to face my accuser. Where's all the proof I did this?" People forget, and they take the deal, so they get away with it. He doesn't have to appear 90% of the time. Probably more than that.
Well, they rely on that too. They rely on giving it, make it so difficult and jumping through hoops and all this other stuff. And they just rely on you to say, "Well, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to pay the ticket and be done with it," because that's how they make their revenue. They don't want anybody fighting back, and that's why you see a lot of these cases when people challenge their jurisdiction or whatever like that. That's why a lot of them get dismissed or settled out, so it wouldn't go to trial and make us like a what do you call
deal.
it?
A plea
Well,
bargain.
no. Well, that so it's all like shoved under the rug, because if it went to trial and they won, then that would set a precedent. You know what I mean? So they don't want that. They don't want that. It's kind of like the straw man thing. If people actually took these things to trial, when it come down to the straw man scenario or any of that stuff, and actually won, that would set a precedent, and then we would have case law to back everything, a lot of the stuff to go back. But they don't want it to go that far, so they dismiss it or settle out or whatever.
And in some cases where they get these auditors, they do all this stuff to them, and the charges get dropped,
right?
Because he ended up arresting them and they put in the report he was looking in my car. Well, that's the plain view doctrine, and if that gets fought in court and the person wins by going, "Hey, if it's illegal for me, it's illegal for them," that's the plain view doctrine. They lose that, so they will dismiss that one.
Right. That's why you see a lot of these things never really come to the public. I mean, that's why that's why I'm saying, and once people actually see this, they can't unsee it. You know what I mean? That's why I say a lot of people will get just like defensive and angry and depressed if they realize, like, holy shit, I've been lied to my entire life. You know what I mean?
I'm over 50. I remember in school when we actually had classes that taught us about government and the jobs of everybody in government and what they were. I have a friend whose my son in high school, my buddy's daughter in high school, has not been taught that. They highlight it and they move right on to a different subject. It's not like you really learn it and have tests on it like I did when I was a kid.
No, when I was going through school, they basically told me that we have the Constitution and that it exists, and that's pretty much as far as it went.
Yep. And when I was a kid in school, we actually went over the Constitution. We listened to a tape of the guy reading the preamble and all that. And then we got down into the other parts and we had discussions about them. Nowadays, they go, "Yep, here's the Constitution, blah, blah, blah." That's why I actually will drop. I have a quick link to it of a YouTube video where it's the full text and somebody reading it of the the preamble, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. And you wouldn't believe how many of my friends as kids went, "I never learned this in school." I'm like, well, listen to it now. All you got to do is turn it on, walk around the house, do your stuff, and listen to it. You're going to re-listen to it. I re-listen to it occasionally.
Yeah, it's just crazy though, man. I mean, I think it's unfortunate because I mean, I can just think about one of the guys I work with. He's older than me, He's probably in his 60s or whatever. But this man, he's willfully ignorant. He doesn't really want to know. You know, he has a basic belief on what the Constitution says, but he's never read it. You know what I mean? He has a belief of what it says. I mean, his belief is wrong, but he's never read it, so he couldn't tell you if he was right or not. And I've tried to point it out to him on a couple of different things. You know, it's like, okay, here's what it says. I mean, so this goes against what you believe it says. You know, this is what it actually says. You know, and there's so many people in this country. We've got this huge Stockholm syndrome going on where we're all like bowing down to our captors, our kidnappers, and all that stuff. Like, you know, praising them as heroes. You know, that's upside down world. I mean,
Yep,
honestly.
I
Stockholm
I
agree.
mean,
syndrome, isn't it?
yeah, Stockholm syndrome, basically. Yeah, it's like on a massive scale.
Yeah.
Start using this. Pin it to your community page. Put it in your community page. This video is probably one of the best I've found about the Constitution. It's the complete text and audio of it.
Yeah.
The Constitution amendments and the Bill of Rights. This is a video that every parent should have their kid listen to more than once. That way it gets through. It's not super, I mean, it's an hour and 6 minutes for them just to read through the whole thing. But still, it's something that all of us should be teaching our kids. And it's a
Mm.
great way to do it because it's the text. They can look at the text, they can wind back. It's the audio, and it's the complete thing. I
Yeah.
mean, I
We're
give
we're
this to a lot of my friends, and it's a
well.
YouTube video.
Yeah. I just think it kind of sucks though because I mean, you know, I mean, it happens in all, even over there in the UK. You guys are getting overrun by a lot of these illegals and stuff like that coming across the border. It's the same thing here. The only problem is here, the government officials are wanting to actually bribe these illegal migrants with a citizenship if they join the military. And I'm sitting there thinking, all right, I'm sitting.
Actually, I have a friend who is from Mexico who was a Mexican Marine and then came up and joined the United States Marine Corps and did 6 years and came out of it with a citizenship. If they're willing to go in and do
That's what
like
they
a
want to do.
6 year
That's what they
hitch,
want to do.
if they want to do a 6 year hitch, I have no problem giving them citizenship because there's things that are required that they'll be a citizen by the time they're out. But
But
just go do a couple years? No, thank you.
But no, let me throw this in your ear though. Just let this sink in for a second. All right, you got a lot of these illegals or whatever, and they're using citizenship as a bribe to become a military. Now, what if our military is majority of illegal migrants that have no connection to America, no connection to our values, no national like patriotism to our country? They'll be willing to do whatever they're told because they got the citizenship hanging over their head. So if they told them to go into Virginia, into some Bodunk County over there and just arrest everybody, they're going to do whatever they're told. You know what I mean? And that's the problem because they have no tie to anybody here. You know what I mean?
I get that argument of it too.
It's actually it's an invasion. It's also there in New York where they were actually saying they're trying to make it like a voluntary thing, but they're saying, well, if you we want you guys to volunteer to actually house these immigrants in your own home, you know, but if you do this, if you volunteer to do this, you have to do it for 90 days. I can already see this happening. You know, this is the thing that government always tries. They try to do everything like a voluntary or an option, and then they make it mandatory. Once they
Well,
figure out that a lot of these people are not voluntarily putting these people up, they'll try and make it mandatory. Well, that goes against our Third Amendment right there, in my opinion.
yeah. Do you realize that, or do you know that we have a friend, Citizen Z? He'll tell you straight out. His wife volunteers at one of the kitchens, homeless places, one of the programs in the DC area. They are going around to some of these homeless shelters and telling them to kick everybody out so they can, and paying them to house the illegals. Plus, they give them a credit card with money, a prepaid card with money on it.
Yeah. See that pisses me off too. You know, it's like We got so many homeless people, homeless veterans here in this country, and they're doing this. I mean, come on, man. This is like a slap in the face to us Americans, man. And we're supposed to fund this?
What about the guys from Syria that were just caught in 511 tactical gear, or the Chinese that had suitcases with them in three-piece suits walking across the border? Had
Right.
just flown into Tijuana and went straight to the border and walked across, wanting to get caught walking across
Right.
because they're not going to be sent back.
Well, I honestly don't think that's an organic thing. I don't think a bunch of Chinese people are organically just, coming
I
over
don't
here.
think they were normal Chinese citizens. I
No,
personally
it's
think
not an
they were
organic thing. This is,
military.
yeah.
I
Well,
personally think they're military.
Well, Broken Fish, I'm gonna tell you, I saw a video of a bunch of these guys that got caught by Border Patrol. They were Chinese nationals or whatever, all right, and they're all standing there, kind of waiting on the Border Patrol, but they're all standing at parade rest, a military parade rest. Well, that tells with that body language, that tells me they have military training. Normal people don't just stand there and parade rest. You know what I'm saying?
While we're on this subject, right, I'd like to bring up a video, mention a video that I think it was a Joe Rogan video that I watched, and how the Chinese government is buying up farmland right next door to U.S. military complexes.
There's Chinese police
They put
station.
a little bit of a block on that.
Yeah, but there's like a police, Chinese police, in New York, a police station in New York. I mean, why are we allowing in this country? Why are we allowing this to happen? I don't understand. See, this is the thing.
Anyone to go to China and buy something.
Exactly, and or try an American police department be built in China. That's not going to happen.
Right, exactly.
On the property
we have
buying
police
thing,
stations over here. Chinese police stations,
on the property buying thing, some of those properties they're straight out just buying the property and letting it, not working it, like keeping the farm going that they bought, but just letting it go fallow.
Yeah. Well, see
that's illegal. You can't have like a foreign police force.
It's also destroying our food supply within our own country, on that end of it. You know what I mean? Because I'm honestly, we oh man, this is everybody, all countries really, I think, are becoming more dependent on everybody else instead.
That's a type of warfare there already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
warfare.
It is. It's like an invasion, really. I mean, honestly, I mean, and that's why I say the Third Amendment, if they try to force these people in our homes, I mean, that goes against, we're not, it's against, it's unlawful to house these.
You know what really hurt my brain? They've done some really stupid things over the years, right? Really stupid things. You know what really, really hurt my brain? Almost, to the point where it wanted us, just stop working altogether and commit suicide. They borrowed money from China, right? Just so they could send it to Ukraine and Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Borrowed money from China to send it to fight a war that we don't even need to be in, right?
Yeah.
Didn't even need to happen.
Dude, our tax dollars were paying the pensions of Ukrainians. I mean, what the hell? We can't even
pay our own pensions.
Yeah, I'm serious, man.
It's the bread basket. You keep the bread basket in strife, in things not as normal, and it creates a food shortage. You'll notice they're escorting the grain ships out of the area with full escorts.
It's just it's a massive thing, and it's just like it drives me nuts because I'm like, all right, when I was going through school, I'll give you an example. All right, when I was going through school, it was not even thought about. It wasn't even a consideration to because we had high school kids that had their cars or their trucks parked out in the parking lot, and they had a deer rifle or a shotgun in the back window. Nobody thought anything about it. Nobody cared, because those guns didn't just.
People?
And what changed? You know what I mean? What changed? You know what I mean? And it just drives me nuts. It's like, and there was a video of like some senator that was talking to a couple of young girls or whatever, and they were talking about all these mass shootings and stuff. And he's like, well, of course, yeah, I'm armed now. And he showed him his gun that he had on his hip. And they're like, oh, I'm so scared. That doesn't make me feel safe. Well, it's not supposed to make you feel safe. It's supposed to make that person having the gun feel safe. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I don't care what you feel like. If you don't feel safe, go get a damn gun. And if you don't want a gun, don't call for anybody that has a gun if you get in trouble. You know what I mean?
What's up, you people? How you doing?
Yeah.
So you know, everybody wants all these senators and all them want the guns removed, but when you ask them how their security is going to defend them when they can't have a gun, they backpedal. Oh, they could have guns. Well, wait a minute. If they can, I can. Doesn't mean I'm going to go do something bad with that weapon.
Right. I own quite a few myself. You know, so.
And I hate that everybody calls it a gun. I was taught the saying of "this is my weapon, this is my gun." So it's really hard for me.
The Marines, the Marines.
My dad was career Army, so you know.
My dad was a Marine, and I mean, you know, and I had an old Marine tell me this one time, and I agree with it. And he's like, "This is an old saying. It's like, it's always good to be polite until it's time to not be polite." You know.
Yep. I agree.
And that's where it's at. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, a well-armed society makes a polite society. And it's like what BBA was talking about, like when it comes down to somebody burglarizing your home. I've made this example, for instance, like you had two neighborhoods. All right. You got one neighborhood over on the left-hand side and the other one on the right-hand side. All right. One of the neighborhoods, every single one of those people in that neighborhood have a firearm and they're willing to use it to protect their lives and their stuff. All right. And the other neighborhood is a gun-free zone. Which neighborhood do you think that burglar is going to burgle?
Gun-free zone.
Exactly, because they're not going to have any resistance.
Look at the case of just last fall, the 90-year-old woman that defended herself. Somebody broke into her house. They stuck their head through the window and they lost it.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to her.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. It drives me nuts. I was like, even looking at statistics. You know, in the UK, you guys have more home invasions with the homeowners actually home than we do here in America. That's just craziness, man. It's because you guys are unarmed and nobody's going to be able to do anything unless you know.
Well,
it's just insane.
Something that throws a projectile, but
I'm saying, like over in the UK, dude. I mean, how many? What kind of weapons you guys got over there in your house? I'm not. Well, don't tell anybody. But I'm just saying, is there any kind of way you can defend yourself from an attacker that may be armed with something? You know,
the cricket bat, the baseball bat.
I'll be straight. There is, but nothing that's legal.
Right.
Yeah. But you know, almost everybody I hear over there has a cricket bat.
My home, but you couldn't. There's nowhere like. You can't like open carry a weapon. You can't conceal carry a weapon. You can't like I've said before many a times here. You can't even have a screwdriver, say for instance, in your back pocket walking down the street without a good enough excuse for why you need to have that.
Yeah, I saw somebody that got pulled over in the UK, and then he had something like that in the floorboard of their car, and they got all you know, questioned about. It's like, what do you got a screwdriver there for? Well, what do you think a screwdriver is used for? You know.
Fool you dumbasses! I use
it
to work.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you know, it's just insane, though. I mean,
but I bet you they wouldn't question him one bit if he had a cricket bat laying on the floorboard of the passenger seat within reach.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ain't got a ball. It's like if I was walking down the street with a baseball bat, yeah, I'd get stopped, man. And if I didn't have a ball, they'd probably arrest me.
Oh yeah,
carrying an offensive weapon because
it's offensive.
Carry a bat down the road. Must be in a rucksack, and you must be going to the gym or training or using it. You know, if you're not going to use it. Why are you carrying it? And you got to have a ball. You don't have to have a ball, but as long as it's in the bag. And yeah, if you've got a ball, it's better, much better. Because I mean, how are you going to play it if you ain't got a ball?
Well, I mean, I'll give you another example. Like here in America, there was an elderly man that was walking down the street, and he had a was a golf club in his hand, using it as a walking stick. And a lot of older men around here, when they go walking around, they usually carry a stick with them, just in case like a dog comes at them or something like that. You know what I mean? So, and there's all kinds of crazy animals that might, or whatever, everything from 4-legged to 2-legged animals that come at you. So you got to carry something. But he got stopped by a cop, and they wanted to give him they wanted to put him as a criminal just for carrying a damn stick.
Coppers over here are so stupid. They'll arrest an old lady with a walking stick and say it's an offensive weapon. She had it waving an offensive weapon.
Would you consider a snowball to be an offensive weapon?
Oh,
I
dude,
mean,
I saw that one video where those kids that were sitting there throwing snowballs at that guy at the grocery store. Dude, I was sitting there, I was like, what are we supposed to do? I mean, you got 14, 15-year-olds throwing snowballs at you.
Press 1 in the chat if you've never thrown a snowball at anyone. Right? I mean, we've all been kids, right?
Yeah, but I mean, do they get a pass just because they're kids? Because I mean, seriously, that snowball could have a rock in it.
Well, that's with malicious intent, but I mean, everyone's entitled to be a child, especially children, right? Snowballs can't be criminalized. We can't criminalize throwing snowballs. Now, putting rocks in snowballs and throwing them, throwing rocks is not throwing snowballs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have dirt clod wars.
Well, before, yeah, when I was a kid, before there was even paintball or airsoft, we used to use BB guns. That's what we used to. We used to go out in the woods and shoot each other with BB guns. That's how we, I'd run around the damn woods with military jacket on and motorcycle helmet and sitting there and having little wars out there in the woods, with BB guns.
I did all that as well, man. When we were kids, we didn't have these mobile phones and internet like we do today.
Exactly. Yeah, that was way before the internet.
Used to, one time I remember I climbed
Agent X on you.
I climbed up the street, must have been more than 20 feet tall. I fell down, broke my leg, went to hospital, got a cast, come back. Everyone was teasing me, and I climbed up that fucking tree again with the cast on, right? Because that's how, that's kids, man. That's what they do, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got a good example. I have a buddy that lives outside the city limits of a town a city on the Oregon coast, because it's not a little podunk area. His neighbor got all upset that he was in the backyard. He's got a brick wall around his whole yard. He's had a really nice place. He's since moved. He got arrested for target practicing with his recurve bow in his own property in a safe area because the neighbor was scared. And he got out of it eventually because he lived outside city limits, and it the alley behind his house was the city limits line, and that's the only thing that saved him.
Oh, well, yeah.
He moved. He moved his whole business. 25 people lost their job. 6 people moved with him.
Stop, Lord.
I mean, actually, that's kind of one of the reasons why I kind of like living where I'm living now. I can literally go right out my door, out in my yard out here, and I can shoot my gun off bare naked while I'm taking a piss, and I won't bother anybody. You know what I mean?
Living in the back country.
I love that. I love that. That's why I don't like. I grew up in Orlando. So, I mean, I've been around big cities most of my life, and I was just like, I'm so sick of it now. That's why I live in the woods. I'm so tired of it.
I truly live in the woods. I live in the Cascade Mountains of Oregon around the Crater Lake area. I live in the woods. I'm the end of the line.
I was watching Northwood Press earlier, and he was showing where he was living, and again, it looked nice, man.
Yeah, you've seen
kind of lifestyle. I could live that kind of life,
BBA, you've seen videos of my yard out here, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it's like I remember I was sitting there, I was doing a video of just me showing some of the land out here on the property, and people out there in the UK is like, man, dude, that's like half the block over here, It's like they don't have that much open space. It's like, it's craziness, man. And well, you guys don't. I mean, hell, the state of Florida is bigger than that island over there, in anyway, almost. I mean, it takes longer to get from the top end of Florida to the bottom end of Florida than it does to get across that whole island over there.
That's crazy, right?
And that's just one state. You think about it. I mean, if things go crappy in this country, it'll look like Europe. Each state will be its own country. That's what it will look like if it ever goes to crap here.
You think?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
out here where I live, we'll have a barrier inside the state. All these people think they're going to run up into my area, the mountains, and go hunt game and all this other stuff. And we're like, wait a minute, you're actually on private property. You better go play in a different place for your getaway. My buddy just kicked some people off his property 2 weeks ago who thought they were in the national forest and all that. And they're on his land setting up a camp and like digging a hole to stash stuff. And he's like, wow, you guys didn't do your research. Do you know you're on private property?
Yeah.
And I could actually get you for violating my mineral rights because you dug that hole.
Wait a minute, he's got mineral rights?
Yeah, not everybody's stupid. They buy property where you do.
I was about to say, most people don't
everything
even
is locked up where they for mineral rights.
Yeah, not everybody has that, I mean, because honestly, man, the way the property stuff is now, I mean, it's not. I mean, even
especially out east, mineral rights do not come with the property when you
No.
buy it. Somebody can come in and go.
Listen, public property is not really public property anymore, is it? I
No,
mean,
they treat it like private property actually around here.
God,
Yeah,
around here, the BOM and the Forest Service try to do that, but some of us know where we're at.
Again, it's restricting your freedom of movement, man. Like, I'll have it when I'm out, like, auditing in places, yeah? And, like, okay, it's definitely publicly accessible. Like, it's used by the public every day. In fact, it's almost impossible that you could expect the public not to just use it freely. However, when it suits them, they decide to go, I can trespass you because it's private property. Like, literally nothing's actually public anymore. It's owned by somebody who, it's a private fucking organization or corporation. And like I say, when they want to use that, they can just move you on.
That's kind of a loophole, isn't it, BBA? That's kind of like a little loophole to get around that private property or public property scenario.
For sure, yeah.
Because I mean, seriously, I mean, like, you talk like he was talking about BLM, like the Bureau of Land Management around here in America, and then they got down here in Florida, they got water management. It's the same thing as BLM, pretty much. It's just like every creek, stream, and river or lake, whatever, it's like they try to get that into the part of the water management, and then all the property around it gets built, bought up by that.
Yeah.
And they it's public property because our taxpayers pay for it, but they treat it like it's private property. You know what I mean? You have to have permission to be out there. You have to do all this other stuff just to go out there and blah, 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 and follow their rules. You can't stay out there after dark, blah, 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 stuff like that. You can't camp in, unless it's in a certain area. That's, it's just, they treat it like
things like that. Yeah. If you wanted to take a tent, if you wanted to just grab a tent and decided, right, I'm just gonna go about. I mean, shit. There was a woman who was in government, right, who wanted to ban the homeless people from using tents.
Well, see,
no tents for the homeless people.
Yeah. Well, here in America, I mean, there's some states that they've practically made it illegal to be homeless. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some states that actually want you to get a permit to panhandle. So you basically got to have to panhandle to get enough money to panhandle. You know what I mean?
You have to ask permission to ask. You have to pay them. Ask permission to ask for help.
Yeah, exactly.
The court fined the guy that I was speaking to had been fined. He had some order put out against him, just because somewhere basically didn't want him sleeping outside their property anymore, right? He carried on, and the court fined him. He ended up with quite a hefty fine. How the fuck can you fine a homeless guy? Do you know what I mean? Like, shit. Like, you might as well just throw him in jail. He'll probably appreciate that. He'll probably
Gotta
appreciate
have him.
it.
No, he would like that, so they didn't do that.
For sure.
Well,
That's what I'm
I've
saying.
had
Yeah.
a case up here just last summer where we had one Forest Service employee tell us we were on private property, and the next truck up the road stopped and asked us if we knew exactly where he was, and we got the map out and showed him where he was. It's crazy. So a lot of them don't even know where they're at when they're up here in the mountains.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, it drives me nuts. You see over and over time, cops saying, claiming that this public property is private property. These cops like, oh, it's like you work for me, and the cops are like, I don't work for you. All right, well, all right. If these public officials do not believe that they work for the public or whatever, maybe the private sector just needs to stop paying them. Let the public sector pay their own goddamn bills. you know.
I guess that's all right for you. Like say over here, it's a bit different because they don't like technically on paper they don't serve the people here. They're not. That's not their job.
They
Yeah,
serve
you're
Their
talking
job
about
is
it's
to
like
serve.
serves a crown, right?
They serve the crown, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yep.
but however, I do still look at that. But who does the crown swear an oath to? They swear within their oath. Yeah, it is to protect the rights of the people, right?
But who's to force the crown to actually, obey and comply with that, or like, who forces the crown to actually abide by that,
The king,
'Cause-
that's his job. That is literally his one job that he's
Yeah.
fairly
yeah,
missing.
well, I mean, you think about it, man. You guys, I mean, I don't like talking about other countries' politics because I don't live there. I only deal with my own. But I keep an eye on you guys over there. Because I know got a bunch of you guys over there in the UK. I mean, so I listen
Oh,
and I watch.
a bunch
It's
of
kind of
them
like,
keep an eye on us too.
well, it's the same thing, But I mean, I don't. I can only have questions. I don't have like opinions about how shit goes on. But I think it's kind of funny that hell, you guys weren't even able to vote for your last couple of PMs. And then you got a damn king now that's never had a job in his life, and now he's king. Oh, give me a break. It just drives me nuts. I
Well,
mean,
that's
it's like
the definition of royalty, not
right.
to have a job.
Yes.
But over here, the bad thing is, I don't know if it's the same in Britain, but some of these people, government agencies, go and rent out an office space in a building, and then the property owner can't get it through their head, but by renting to that government agency that does get people to come into the office to do business
Yeah, we have
and
that.
all that,
Yep.
that they just made public property.
We have
Exactly.
that.
Some
We
of
have
them
that.
can't get it through their head that it's now public. Can't you have to? I have to be. You.
Yeah.
I have to be
You
It's kind
now
of like
provide
great.
public services, right?
yeah,
That's it.
it's kind of
Yep.
like it's like some of these corporations that make stuff, like for government agencies or whatever, and they get those government contracts. That therefore that makes them a public entity because they got that government.
There's a difference though. If the public isn't allowed to go into that place that manufactures stuff for the under a government contract, it is not public property.
Well,
If it's a real it's a line. If I'm manufacturing something for the government, I'm just selling my product to the government. That doesn't
right.
make it to where any Tom, Dick, and Harry or Joe can come on into my property like it's like it's the DMV.
No, I
It's
agree with you
still
there.
private property. You don't have a right on my private property. Now,
I agree.
I rented out my property to an agency like, let's say, the Department of Health or
Right.
DMV, that turns it into a publicly accessible property.
Yeah,
There's
I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Public accessible, But I mean, even though they got that public that government contract, even though there's private property, they're still a public entity in a sense because they get paid by the public through that contract. I agree that you can't go on their private property. Yeah.
For a product that they would be making, whether it was for the government or not. I have a friend who they make parts for airplanes. Yes, they
Right.
have a government contract, but that does not make them a public entity. They are selling a product to the government. That doesn't make them part of the government or an entity of the government. It makes
Well,
them a person who is selling a product to the government under a contract of we give you this much for each part.
okay, well, BBA, isn't that that's similar, or is it? Because I mean, over there, how they're like doing that little loophole thing, is that for both, like just some company that are making parts for the government, or is it also for somebody that owns a building and then a public like a public service, like the DMV driver's license place, or like public service or whatever comes in there, and that private property, the owner still believes it's private property, but they got a public service inside it. It's kind of the same thing in a sense, isn't it?
But it's not the same thing.
Okay,
You got to get to the point. One is publicly accessible and does business with the public. The other one is selling something to the government from a private company.
Okay.
It's like
I hear you.
The government and you sell me T-shirts. That doesn't mean the Mellows over here can just walk into your office and go, "I'm doing an audit. You're public accessible." You're not. You are a private entity that is doing contract business with the government. It doesn't make you anything but a private entity that sells a service or a product to the government. Doesn't mean anybody can violate your privateness. It's different from a place that invites the public in to do their business.
Okay, I agree. I see what you're saying. I agree. Yeah.
That's the difference between public accessible and not public accessible. Just because you have a business has a contract selling a product or a service to the government doesn't mean it is public accessible. If it's not a business that the public is invited into for them to do their business, it's not accessible.
So, I mean, all right, when I don't know. I was sitting there. I just think about all the, because like we were talking about how cops, they get paid because we are forced to pay them. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we're forced to pay all this stuff, I mean, like I said, I think it's like in our interest because we're paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I might be going off on a different.
It's like the guy who runs the water plant. We pay him for his services, and we're in a way forced to pay him for him to do his job. But 9 out of 10 water plants have signs up saying no public access. They don't invite the public into that area to do business. Police departments do.
Right. So, I mean, and in BBA, when it comes down to you guys over in the UK, do you guys really even think that are you guys making a difference when it comes down to the auditing scene over there? Are you guys actually making a difference over there? Is there any changes that you guys can notice?
I believe so. I believe for a long time I've been involved in many different types of activism. And I think the auditing community is one of the very few communities that have actually made any difference or any change at all.
What differences and changes have you seen?
Physical changes in behavior, the way they behave towards public photography.
Well, I mean, I know cops over there, they've always been brutal, but now they're just being recorded being brutal. Are they less violent or more violent?
Yeah, I mean, here's an example. There's a channel you might be familiar with, I'm not sure, Yardley Ski. Now, if you go back through his channel, if you're not familiar with him,
I think I am.
Yeah. If you go back to the beginning, you'll see he'll do his earlier visits to the same stations and how brutal they were with him.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't no snowflake, so he bites. You know what I mean? So he over the years, the same places, you'll see his more recent videos now where he's almost tamed them to the point where they know instinctively not to call him mate because he'll piss him off. So they'll call him sir. You know, they're paying attention. They're watching his videos. They know who he is.
Yeah, but I mean, but okay, but the thing is,
So,
they might.
and your point is their change will be towards him because they know
Right.
him as a platform. But has it changed?
Like on a general basis, like on a overall.
No. For that proof, you want to go and watch Bears videos, right? And you see they just don't give a fuck, right? They do what they want when they want because they know clearly they can get away with it, right?
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, go ahead.
The only way it's basically changed, even here in the States, is when they see a camera, there is a change in the officer.
Oh, well,
if you film them from a half a block down the road where they don't see the camera, they act the way they always act. But if that camera's up where they get a glimpse of it, they act different.
I know, because in my experience from back in the day, that's exactly what happens. That's why if I was to do it again today, I would be way far away with it. Didn't know they were being recorded, so I can get exactly how they would act. That's how I want it. I want the truth. You know what I mean? I want, I don't want this fake, act because they know they're being recorded. But unfortunately, there's a lot of cops around here that got body cameras, and they still continue to do what they're doing, even on body camera.
But with their body cameras, they're allowed to turn it off. They're allowed to mute it. They're allowed to do all that. And usually the department, it's like pulling teeth to get that footage from them if you request it.
I agree.
Our cameras, we go and freely put that stuff up and show it.
Well, that's what I like about today. Everybody's got a camera in their pocket, and you can live stream this thing worldwide. That's one of the things I love about today when it comes down to that. Because I mean, when I was doing it with a VHS camcorder, dude, getting that video out to the public was hard. You know what I'm saying?
Like you people says, he's noticed some big changes there in southern Colorado.
Well, see, okay, now, see, you people...
On camera and off camera.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like, is it... I wonder, because, I mean, maybe it's only toward those people that are putting the cameras in their face that they change their tone. Because, I mean, or do they just do it, or do they only do it for them and not for everybody else? I mean... If they know the guy and they know the camera and they know his channel and all that stuff, of course they're going to treat him different. But are they going to treat the next person the same or different also? You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at. Because, I mean, the average person, especially the average person, just trying to get in on like a Freedom of Information Act, hell, even people that have done it many, many times, they still get a hassle. Try somebody just Joe Smo coming off the street that's never done it in their life, never even been around it, just wanted to get some information for their own case. Dude, they get harassed and hassled. It's just
Cola, it's live, but they're sharing to more than one platform right now. It takes a minute. It takes a minute for us to notice your comment. And you might want to hit the live button if you're not up where we're at.
Oh yeah, live comments and stuff, live chat.
And somebody has microphone feedback going on. I've already checked mine.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, I don't have my phone on charge, so I don't think it's me. I don't hear it, honestly. Here, I'll mute. I'll mute just real quick.
It was you. Then the background feedback went away, but it's okay. It's not super bad, but you just notice it, and now it's actually not there. Nope, there it is again a little bit.
Okay, yeah, it's just
not super bad. There's just static.
Right on. Yeah. I'm on a cell phone, and it's a pain in the ass sometimes. Like I said, I mean,
StreamYards was invented for computers and then went to cell phones, and it's not really meant for cell phones. It eats their batteries. You don't get as good as if you're on a laptop or a desktop, because it was invented originally for a computer, not a mobile device. They adapted it to a mobile device. That's why there was all that trouble with Chrome last year and everybody echoing and couldn't get rid of it unless you had headphones.
Right. Well, that's another thing too, you guys. I'm down to 50%, so probably in a little while I'm gonna have to drop off, just so I can charge my battery again. Yeah. I enjoy it, man. Like I said, I mean, my channel. I mean, when I started Anarchy Television, it was all about, I was doing all my CB stuff, my radio stuff, and I did here and there a few rants and a few different other things and other stuff. I was like, and then the shot in the arm stuff came up a couple of years ago, so I was doing a lot of research and I was trying to get that information out. And I mean, in the time that I've had my
Oh,
channel, I've had about 1,000 videos deleted by YouTube.
oh, you need Rumble if you're gonna do
I
that.
got I just
Stuff
just
come
got
out.
onto
You
Rumble
need
and I
Rumble.
haven't
If
figured
you
it
need
out yet.
any help, my email is in my Discord information, and my email is in my channel. I'll help you out. I'm a big time Rumbler. I do Rumble every time I go up.
Well, I mean, I'm still
If
trying to
you
figure out
pay
how to
for
do the live
StreamYard,
streaming on that. Yeah,
oh well,
because I'm on a cell phone too. So, yeah.
well, I can show you how to set up the live stream and hook it into StreamYard, and then you just go live once it's hooked
Yeah,
in.
cool. Yeah,
But
because
there's a
I've
couple
tried it.
things you got to do first, and
Do
if
you
you
have
need
to have a
help,
certain amount of people following you to actually go
I
live?
think like 5. I went
Okay.
live with 5 Rumble people on my Rumble. But
Okay.
if you got a Rumble account, drop your Rumble account link, because YouTube at any time will go, "Hey, I didn't like your comment on your last video. Bye."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's brand new. I just started the last week or something like that, just because I was like, well, I mean, YouTube. I mean, like I said, I'm really old school. I'm still analog. So the only, YouTube has been 12 years ago I was on Facebook, but me and Facebook don't get along. But I'm only on one social network, and so it was kind of like, I'm
Yeah,
dragging my
well,
feet and all that other stuff. So I did got onto
if
it like
you need
a couple weeks
to,
ago.
hit me up in Discord. We can have a video chat, or just chat just like we're doing. I have plenty of backstages or
Yep,
pre-stages coming up.
I can do
I
that
can
too. Yeah.
walk you through it, but there's more than one platform. And if you pay for StreamYards, you should always be streaming to 3 at one time.
Well, no, see, that's the thing. I only use the free StreamYard, so I don't know. Does that matter when it comes down to like
You
streaming
can
on the Rumble?
only do one at a time, but you
Okay.
can still stream to Rumble.
Okay.
But I can
That's
even
cool.
tell you how to get StreamYard cheaper.
Yeah, I'd rather not pay for it. Hell, I mean, I figured out all the loopholes when it comes down to StreamYard.
I ended up pulling the plug. I ended up biting the bullet, or as you want to say, and paying for a yearly cost. I got a really good deal, and it's actually been 1,000% improvement to my channel.
Really? Right on.
I don't have to
Well,
worry
I'm in the
about
process
only
of
20
making my
hours.
own StreamYard, so I'll let you know when it's done. You might want to try it.
Right on. I mean, I think there's a lot of this information that really a lot of people are missing because, like I said, those thousands, I think it was 1,000, so it's almost to 1,000 videos that were deleted. And the two main claims that YouTube uses is medical misinformation and misinformation of the 2020 election. Those are the two main excuses that they give
Yeah,
you.
you can't put anything up that gives out any medical advice, or even if you tell them this from my experience, YouTube doesn't allow that. You can over on Rumble. You can
Yeah.
over on Twitch. You can over on Kick. They don't get on you about it. But over here on the YouTube, and they're locking down more. I've had 2 videos taken down because I played an audio of a song. Gone.
Well,
Worldwide gone. I don't even have them in my record. Well, I have them because of how I stream, but on YouTube they're totally gone. Can't even be gotten back.
well, I mean, tell you because I mean, they're going by the WEF and the WHO guidelines. That's what they're following in YouTube. Um, you know, so if it goes against the WEF or the WHO, they'll delete it. You know what I mean? I can't even make a comment that has anything negative to say about communist mentality. They delete it right off the bat. Anything, every
Oh,
comment.
yeah, of course. Of
You know,
course. And they're cracking down, and they told us in November, December that they were going to crack down. And it's already here. The crackdown's already happening. I played an Ozzy Osbourne audio song all last year. I got my whole video deleted by YouTube because I played the same audio 2 weeks ago. Gone. Totally gone.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, YouTube's definitely not free speech.
No, it is a private entity, and
Yeah.
they can do whatever they want. It's their private business, and we agree to their terms of service, and
Well,
it's up to us to go and look at the new additions and revisings of the terms of service.
well, that was what I was going to say. It's like when I joined up, a lot of these rules weren't in play. They changed the contract later on down the line. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't read it word for word when I signed up, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have anything as like we have the reserve the right to change any of these things. I don't know if that was even in there.
It's in there.
Yeah, well, probably now.
No,
but,
it's been in there it's been in there for quite a while. People just don't read them fully.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I know this was
changing
like 15 years ago. I mean, you think about it. I don't think they had a lot of the stuff in play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's up to us to keep up with the new rules. Everywhere comes up with new rules. Some laws get taken away, some laws get revised, some get added. It's
Yeah.
up to us. Ignorance of the rules is no excuse.
Really? I wish they would play that for the cops too.
Well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Everybody knows that. Ignorance of the rules
Unless you're a
is no
cop.
excuse.
Yeah, unless you're a cop.
If you're a
You
cop,
got qualified immunity.
Yeah,
You got
because I mean, if
qualified
you're a
immunity.
cop, you start asking them legal questions. Even a judge will say the cops are incompetent because they don't really know the law. You know what I mean? They can't make legal determinations.
They
They're entitled
charge
to be
people
ignorant,
under
or should I
law.
say ignorant?
They
Yeah.
charge people under a law with the criminal charge, knowing damn well that law doesn't pertain to what they're dealing with. That's a little
Yeah.
beyond ignorance.
Yeah. Well, it rolls into the what they call the color of law. It's really
I think,
not law. It's the color of law.
we need to change that saying that you just said, that ignorance of the law is no excuse. Unless you're a copper, then it's mandatory.
Yeah, I
It should
agree.
be. It should be. You know what I mean? Because honestly,
ignorance of the law is mandatory.
it's so infuriating when you get cops out there like, oh, where'd you go to law school? Oh, well, how did those 6 weeks of training teach you? What kind of what? I mean, what and these cops can't even recite the Constitution or even the First Amendment, the five elements of the First Amendment, and they're supposed to be the ones protecting it. I mean, they don't even know what it is.
Am I the only one that finds it concerning that someone like myself, right, who's only just watched a few YouTube videos, and I live in the UK, right? I've never even set foot in America, and I know the Constitution better. I actually know the whole fucking thing better than they do. A chief of police.
That is concerning. That is concerning. I'm telling you.
Well, because they don't, out of the 6-8 weeks they get, what did they spend on it? 1 day?
Yeah, pretty much. If that,
maybe a couple hours. It's truly, they don't. It's not. I know a guy who wanted to be a police officer. The local police told him how to go get the classes online, never physically show up to a class and meet an instructor. And I know for a fact they were giving him answers to the questions he was finding a little hard or the question was a little misleading. They gave him the proper answers so he'd get it right. And now he's a police officer. Never stepped foot in an actual in front of somebody until graduation. Me and him don't see eye to eye, but that's okay.
It's like what you guys were you guys were talking about earlier. It's like seriously. It takes you 2 years to get a damn was it a barber or a cosmetology type degree. You know what I mean? It takes you longer to get to cut hair than it does to become a cop.
Because he might hurt you with his clipper, right?
Oh yeah, of course. It's a dangerous. It's an offensive weapon. It's an offensive weapon.
Well, what gets me is, as a firefighter, it took me it took me 6 months just to get my basic for structure, and I had continuing education every year that I had to prove to keep my certification.
Right. Right.
Fucking stupid
Right.
cop emptied out 2 clips just for an acorn. Can you imagine what he'd do with if he heard of a vibrating clipper?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it'd been if it'd been any other
Oh
time
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
year and he lived
Exactly.
in a state where black cats are illegal and somebody set off one a half a block
So
away
what do
from
we do
him?
in that case? Do we put them indoors and put, what do we do? Give them
Personally, I think he should be
anxiety
removed from being
medication?
an officer. He
Yeah.
should work the grill at well, not even at McDonald's. He should go to some mom and pop and wash dishes because that's all he's capable of.
Yeah.
Drive
I
through.
agree. I mean, we can't. I mean, honestly, man, the only problem is like the way they hire these guys on. If you have a high IQ, they won't even hire you. You know, they want these dumb idiots that just do whatever they're told. You know,
You
that's
know,
how they hire them.
in an ideal world, right? People would see that. These higher ups would see that. These people that employ them, the people that are ultimately responsible for employing and training these people, they would see this, and they would see the public outrage, and they would say, right, this guy, you know, we don't want people like this, right?
You would think,
right?
No, they literally got to go and shoot up their own car with a victim in it.
No, they got to double down, right? Try and cover up for the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They got to double down on the double down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, oh, it was an acorn, you know? Oh, fuck off. That made it even worse. That made it even worse, man.
Yeah.
They brought the acorn into it. I mean, that made it even worse. They shouldn't have said anything about an acorn.
And on that female's body cam, you can actually hear the acorn hit better than you can on his body.
yeah, I saw that one.
Here's the deal. Just did something on it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can't remember who. I can't remember who it was. I think it was over on Rumble. I watched them. They were literally just rating the. Besides the shooting, they literally just rated the guy on his acrobatics and his stop, drop, and roll and his tumbles and all this shit. And you know, the guy got an 11 that way, but for what he did over an acorn, the guy gets a 0.
Yeah.
The acorn wins.
Oh, and the faking, I've been hit, screaming, I've been hit, I've been hit.
Oh, that was classic.
Yeah.
What were
you know what else? You know what it reminds me of though on that level? I mean, it reminds me of a lot of these guys that are military, ex-military, and then they get home and they become a cop. And they most likely probably got some kind of PTSD. Yes. You know what I mean? They're all looking at every average person as a combatant. You know what I mean? Because they're all running around in like full on like tactical gear, you know, like they're in Afghanistan and stuff. You know,
people like that, they shouldn't be given weapons, guns, and things, and they should be given a job where there's not a lot of people. You know, maybe out in an open field or something. You know,
yeah, send them out to the farm where they don't got to work with public. They just wander around with the shovel.
Space to think, man. They need to.
Shoveling horse manure. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be perfect. Actually, you know, it would be even better. I think they'd make more of a difference in this country if they were just on the side of the road picking up cigarette butts. They'd make more of a difference. You know what I mean?
Digging a hole.
For real.
Yeah.
They would.
But the only problem is a lot of these guys, they can't actually do anything else in the regular world, so they become a cop. You know, they're not capable of doing anything else. You know,
I actually know one of the guys I used to party with in high school, and I mean party. It was the Ollie North years. We're not talking no pussy parties. We're talking full-on party ass. He was 2 grades ahead of me. He went and became an officer and got a job in our hometown. And guess who he decided he was going to target? His party buddies. He targeted me one day, and his superior pulled up behind him, and the tongue lashing and what his superior heard about what he used to do, I guarantee you that guy was like, oh, shit, why did I pull him over? Because I told him exactly what we used to do. Can't get me for something that happened in the past. I've done lines of coke with that guy that were a foot long. I told the lieutenant that pulled up that was my dad's drinking buddy. And all I heard out of them later that night was, "Did you have to throw him under the bus? Did he have to
Yeah.
stop? Did he have to stop and try searching me for drugs and violate my rights and then hit me in the ribs? No, he didn't. That's why he got what he got." And they're like, "Well, you got a good point. Not going to argue it. But he is being looked at now."
Yeah, by who though? By themselves?
By the word got all the way to the chief. I heard he had triple drug tests in the 80s, and they were wondering if he was actually moving drugs from the border up. He was a sheriff's deputy. Yeah, his life became hell, and I didn't be. I told him to get the hell off the property when he came out to the ranch. He got told to leave, or you're trespassing. I'll treat you like I do anybody else who has a weapon on this property who's trespassing. You got 2 seconds, and you better be either in your car backing up or on the ground. He left.
I don't know, man. I just like I talk to a lot of people all over the world when it comes down to it, and I hear a lot of people are like, that, when it comes down to government corruption and all this other stuff, I'm like, well, in the $10,000 question I hear all the time, it's like, what do we do? How do we fix this? You know what I mean?
Well, in a society where we took 2 whistleblowers and made them international criminals, one of them's a citizen of Russia now, and I don't know where the other one's hiding out anymore. People aren't as willing to blow the whistle on the corruption.
Well, I see your point.
They're too afraid. They're too scared.
But I mean, that's the thing. Is like, it's that fear tactic. That's why a lot of people are acquiescing and complying with all this crap that's happening in our everyday lives, is because of that fear of having everything come down, crashing down on top of you. You know what I mean? So there is that, that's the reason why, like, for instance, like, even like, those whistleblowers you're talking about, you think about that one guy that's hiding out in Russia. You think about it. All right. He's hiding out in Russia.
Uh-huh. And the other one had to spend, what was it, 3 years? Is he still in the embassy?
No, they're trying to extradite him to the U.S. now. They're trying to do that right now.
And what did he do? Blow the whistle on some, release some files that were handed to his company?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, but that's exactly what they want. That's the message they want to send to everybody on general basis. Like, okay, you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. All right. And then people get afraid. You know what I mean? That's why, very few whistleblowers do come out and continue to blow the whistle. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise they'll get Clintoned, with 2 bullets in the back of the head and consider it a suicide. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. I wonder, where's our enforcement here in America, for instance? Where's our enforcement to make the government to comply with the supreme law of the land? If this is what we're supposed to live under, if we're all supposed to be part of this, like, this thing called, what we call it, a society, and we're all supposedly living under this so-called constitution and all this other stuff. All right. Well, if they're not even abiding by the rules, why should we abide by them? You know what I mean? Otherwise, we need to force them to abide by them.
They didn't actually call for it in the wording they used. It does, but they didn't say come straight out and do it. But do you know our founding fathers expected us and knew there would probably be another revolution in this country alone?
Well, that's the reason why we have the Second Amendment, because they knew that we here in America could become tyrannical. And we knew back then, when we were doing it, that we needed to defend ourselves from a tyrannical government, because we had just gotten out of a war for 2 years, so we knew exactly what a tyrannical government could do. And no offense to you guys out there in the UK, but the fucking crown was a tyrannical government at the time. All right. And we knew back then, that we over here in America could become tyrannical. That's the reason why our Second Amendment is there.
Well,
and that's the reason why
they
they're trying to
have.
disarm us now. Go ahead.
Well, they went exactly, and we're exact. I believe we're exactly at that time our founding fathers called for,
Yeah, I
saying,
agree.
"Watch out for this." We're there. You just
Right.
can't get the sheeple to believe it.
Well, and I was sitting there talking to, who was it? I was talking to somebody, and I think he's out there in the UK, and he was like, over there, when they look over here, they see us maybe getting into a civil war pretty soon. And I'm like, okay, all right, what does that look like then? You know what I mean? Is it, average people out there starting to trade lead with each other? Is it like, for instance, like the border thing where the Texas National Guard and then the federal government National Guard, if they started going against each other, is that considered a civil war? Or is it like, for instance, a state seceding from the federal government? Is that considered a civil war? What would it look like?
Yeah, I know. Good question.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I've wondered this because I think, and I'm 50 years old now, and I have my gut feeling tells me I'm going to see some of this stuff begin in my lifetime. You know what I mean?
The next thing they're going to have to get everybody to get along and agree is they're going to have some invasion, so all the rednecks have something to do. Yeah, there will be a lot of shotgun shells on the ground and beer, but they're going to have it.
Dude, I saw the most funniest, and I thought it was awesome. It was the funniest damn little short where like you had this guy who was in all tactical gear with fucking night vision goggles and all this stuff. He's walking through the woods, and he gets popped. All right, and he's on the ground. Next thing you know, you see this hillbilly with fucking straw hat and a 22 rifle. And he say, "Hey man, we got one of them things. Got one of them fancy night vision goggles and whatnot on them. And hell, there's no bag limit on them suckers." I could totally see that happening. You know what I mean? If any country decides they want to put boots on the ground here, dude, you think all them guys over there in Afghanistan that kept our armed forces busy for 20 years are tough? Imagine what we would do on our own homeland. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's lots of jokes about it.
Yeah.
Could you
I'm just like,
imagine if what would happen if they tried to do an invasion like that, a military-style invasion in, let's say, Florida,
yeah.
the whole East Coast would be down there, and when the Marines arrived, they'd be like, "Where's the fight?"
Yeah, no, we already took her over it, man. We fed them to the alligators. God damn it.
You'd see shotgun shells and empty beer cans everywhere.
Yep,
and them
exactly.
Going, "Yep, it was pretty good, but we won."
Yeah. And it's like y'all missed the party, boy. We took care of it. That's the thing. That's what I love about it. That's why I'm like so against these people that I consider communists that are trying to go against our natural God-given rights that are supposed to be protected under the Constitution. All these senators and governors and all this stuff that are like one stupid ass over in New Mexico that wanted to ban firearms from everybody for like, I don't know, in all public places or whatever for like, I don't know how long, and they can indefinitely extend that. I'm like, who in the hell do you think you are? I mean, just because like, it's like these mass shooting scenarios, just because some psychopath goes out there, this mentality that everybody's got to be punished because of what that guy did, that's got to be eliminated. That's some foreign idea. That's some idea that other countries deal with. That's not what we're supposed to be dealing with here.
Don't forget that some of these mass shootings are orchestrated by our government.
I agree too, because I mean, honestly, if they want to start something like a war and they have no legitimate reason to start a war, they'll create a reason, and they've done it many times through history already, So, I mean, I can totally see some of these being orchestrated. I mean, hell, there was what was that one? I think there was two of them actually. It was like a school thing, and a massive amount of police force were actually doing training like a block away, because it's just convenient that they were all doing all these training scenarios just a block away from the actual shooting. It's just amazing to me. But anyway,
that goes into that other theory of have you ever looked at the statistic of how many people are easily hypnotizable, and have some of these shooters actually been programmed to do what they're doing?
Well, what was that one? It was like right after the shooting happened, the guy claimed that he heard voices in his head. There was actually a
Oh,
couple of them that.
which one didn't say that? All of them, they say, have
Yeah,
mental health problems.
yeah. They had voices in the head. I mean, and it's like that one kid that went in and did something, and it's like, dude, this is a young kid. How does he afford the weapons that they say he had? I mean, you think about it, the rifle, the
You
ammunition, all this. I mean,
you
these
hear
kids can't
about
afford that.
you hear about the parents that are getting criminal charges right now because the kids broke into. They can prove he actually broke into their gun safe and took the weapon he used to go do it.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, that's
And
bullshit.
the
Because honest,
parents are catching a criminal charge over that
that's
because
bullshit.
they
Yeah,
supposedly allowed him, but there's actually proof he broke into the gun cabinet or gun safe where they were keeping them.
right. See, that's just that's the thing. But yeah, they want that's that mentality. When you got one psychopath, they don't really. They want to blame the inanimate object, not the person who actually pulled the trigger in the first place. And then on top of that, they want to punish everybody for what he did. I'm like, no, no, no. We had nothing to do with it. We're not. I mean, just because I've got 5,000 or 6,000 guns in my closet doesn't mean I'm going to go out on a shooting rampage. You know what I mean? It's one of them things, man. And it's and why are we allowing? And that's the thing when it comes down to the controlling part of it. It's like you got cops that look at everybody as basically a criminal. They look at everybody as a potential criminal, put it that way. They don't, this innocent until proven guilty doesn't exist in this fucking country. It's all a myth, you know. I mean, hell, traffic stops they practically ignore, and they think that the traffic stop exceeds over the Constitution, because your constitutional Bill of Rights do not exist on a traffic stop, you know. And that's just insane, dude. It's that ideological subversion that we've been put under
That
for.
that's the other one I've heard of. Bought the son something. But there is one where the kid actually broke into it. The one they never talk about is the mass shooting here in Oregon. So long ago, people have forgotten Thurston High. Both of his parents were teachers. He killed them. The only thing that saved his sister is she was out of state, and then he went down to the school and did the mass shooting. Thurston
Yeah.
High School. Kip Kinkle. He's still in jail here in Oregon. You know, he's going to be forever. But everybody forgets that because it was Combine took the spotlight off of
Oh
Oregon.
yeah, yeah. I remember Columbine.
Yeah, well, before it, Thurston High School, right around the
Right.
same time. Those two shootings were so close together, you had to go, what?
Yeah, 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 yeah. But even then, it's like if you look at the statistics, what they considered school shootings, hell, majority of the things that they've got listed is just a gun was found on school property. That was it. Nobody was hurt. It just happens to have found a gun on school property. Well, they considered it and classified it as a school shooting. That's just bullshit. That's like fudging the numbers, man. Trying to, pull on people's heartstrings and shit like that. Oh my God, it's just so much. It's happening every day. That's just bullshit.
Yeah, I still don't think we should blame the weapon for the shooting.
No, no, the
Blame
weapon.
the
Like I said, back when I was going to high school, a lot of the high school kids would have a deer rifle or a shotgun in the back window of their shotgun. That thing didn't jump out of that damn truck. It didn't
Same
jump
as
out of
when
that
I
truck and
went to
fucking shoot
school.
people. You know what I mean? So that
Same
inanimate
as when
object
I-
didn't come out all by itself and start shooting people. All right, it's
Yep,
the person that
same as
pulls the
when I
trigger.
went to school. I have a
Right.
friend that they were elk hunting. His son just jumped in the truck early Monday morning and drove 6 hours across the state, not even thinking about it. And he had forgot to give his dad the elk rifle sitting in the back window. And he caught a charge over that. And he was sitting in class when they came to get him. And he's like, What rifle? I don't have a rifle. They walked him out to his vehicle and he went, oh shit, I thought I left that at camp with my dad.
But yeah, that would be considered a school shooting on that statistic that I was reading. It was just a weapon found on school property. I mean, you know what else they will also classify as that too? I mean, it's like if, for instance, two people were fighting on school property. They're not even part of the school. They didn't go out there and start shooting a bunch of kids, but there was two people that were fighting and a gun was involved. That would be considered a school shooting too. All right. But it wasn't. It was just a couple of guys fighting and a gun was brandished or happened to be in the whole scenario. And they
Well,
classified it as
that's
school
that
shooting.
mentality that they were in a fist fight and losing and decided they had to show a gun to try to
But
win or get away.
well, that's how nowadays it is. I mean, back when we were kids, like you get your ass beat, you at least got your ass beat and you can walk away. You know what I mean? But nowadays, you get your ass beat, now you're gonna go over there and try and kill the guy with a gun. There's a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, I actually kind of, when I was going through school, I got bullied. I know people that got bullied, and I know people were like, dude, if I had my way, I'd go in there and just, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So in some respects, if somebody was actually being bullied and they came in there and just wanted to do like, whatever, I can understand where that person's coming from, but I didn't act on it, and that person shouldn't have acted on it either if that was his intent or his intentions and stuff. But
I don't know.
but the
Back in the day,
bullies in school continue, and that's what. And these kids, dude, if nothing's ever done to the bullies, and they continue to happen. And it's kind of like the trolls and the haters here on YouTube or anything else. You can ignore them all you want, but once and if they get bored, they'll just move on to somebody else. They won't be messing with you because you don't give them what they want. It's the same thing with bullies back in the school. You can ignore the bully all you want, but and if that bully gets bored, they'll move on to the next. They don't go away. You know what I mean? And that actually should be taken care of. We need to actually eliminate that. It makes it. You talk about making a safe space, dude. If we protected our children like we do our freaking money and government officials, we wouldn't have to worry about school shootings. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I get you.
My opinion. Sorry.
I don't know. I used to get in a lot of fights in high school and in junior high because my friends were getting bullied.
Yeah.
It was a known fact. You bullied my friends, you had to look out for me. And I didn't go use any weapon on anybody. I got my ass kicked, but I kicked ass too. But it was something that was a known
You can all walk
fact.
away from it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You all walk away
Well,
from it.
we all lived. I'll say that. Not everybody walked away.
I hear you. Yeah.
If they'd pissed me off too much, I guarantee they weren't walking away.
Hey, you guys, I'm down to like 15% on my phone. I got to drop out, and I really appreciate BBA and Grim for letting me up, and all you guys, man. I appreciate all you guys, man.
No worries, man. I'm gonna shut it down anyway because it's getting late here.
Dude, I mean, yeah, it's what? It's getting close to midnight over here, or after midnight, isn't it? Yeah, it's after midnight.
1:15. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, you guys, man, I appreciate you guys letting me up and talk and all that stuff.
Love, bro.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care of
to see
yourself,
ya.
man.
Bro, thank you, man.
Cheers, you guys.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks for letting me up.
Bro, fishing, always good to have you up, bro.
Yeah, and good to see you guys. Nice to see you, Mellows. We'll catch you around. I know where to find you.
Yeah. Guys, yeah, I'd just like to say before we wrap this up, whoever's watching that hasn't tuned into TPP, the People's Podcast, it's run 24 hours. When we shut this down, you'll probably find me over there.
I can drop the link if you would like.
Yeah, drop the link for everybody. It's got a good panel at the moment. Got me piss out of Alexandria.
Here, I'll drop the current one. Let me get it up. It takes me a second to get it go up. Here's the link to Eli's People's Podcast. Live right now. Eli is actually on stage.
Yeah, give him our love and be respectful. And if you want to troll, if you got the balls.
All right.
See you over there.
Thanks for letting me up. I'm gonna go grab dinner, and I'll probably see you over there, Mellows.
Take care, man.
All right. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Peace out, guys. Peace out.
thanks for everything.